The Mustang does have cargo storage for commodities. Let me rephrase that. If you go to commodity kiosks and buy stuff, you can fill up the Mustang. What's it got? Between 2 and 4 SU, I'm pretty sure. Although I'll be finding that out later today and actually use a Mustang. Yeah, so you can buy cargo from space stations and landing zones, put it on a Mustang, and then sell it to another station. A limited small quantity. You cannot, however, put packages in the Mustang. It doesn't have room for mission items, mission packages, cargo boxes. Doesn't have room for, because they're currently separated into two things. It has commodity room, but not package room. I feel like I made that more complicated than it needed to be. Cool. Right. Do I need to do anything before I start streaming? Might put a cup of tea on the boil, on the brew. Get a drink of water. And then I'll be ready to go. I'm much more chill about the NordVPN thing. I'll talk to you why, and people are more than welcome to disagree. For that. Oh. Hope everyone's doing alright. Me having a bit of a sit down now makes a lot of sound. Let's get this microphone near me. Oh, thanks Pedro for the beautiful music. Let us lower this music slightly. Let us click on this. Oh, tell him. Oh, right, this fucking bum. Hey. I feel like I'm bigger today. Is my head cut off at the top? Should I get further back? Is that better? You can see my lovely peak of my head there, like a missile. A beluga whale. Like a fucking potato. There you go. Have some of that. Hope everyone is doing well today. So, various things I want to talk about today. Including any questions that you guys want to go through, any topics. So, question in brackets if you want me to more easily spot out your question. I'll take questions from the Discord, from YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. Any medium that I have at my disposal that's in front of me, I will take questions from. And if you get questions later, especially like through email or the Discord or the Reddit or whatever, I'll probably put them in the next episode, or if I see them during when I'm sort of like looking at panels and windows and things. So bear that in mind. So you might not be taking your question directly from where you expect. Let me close a couple of programs I've got open. Make sure I haven't got anything NDA'd on my screen. I do not. Good. Go away, Steam. Where's Steam? Go away. Steam, go away. My Steam's still open. Right, fucking you bloody Steam. Yeah, so some of the stuff I want to talk about is general CitizenCon stuff. We'll talk a little bit about 3.8, 3.7.1, the hotfix patch, the wipe that's going to come with 3.7.1 hotfix patch. Are they going to call that 3.7.2? Or is it just going to be 3.7.1 plus? Yeah, just general stuff for CitizenCon's probably a good shout. Space stations, the enunciator panels, or not enunciator panels, whatever the fuck they're called. Let's do my smile face. What else was there in Star Citizen? Inside Star Citizen. They did something else afterwards. They did the panels, and they did something else. Did something else after the panels. What was the thing they did after the panels? My brain has leaked. It's gone. All the information about Star Citizen is now out in the ether. It's bled out of my brain. I mean, I don't really want to have to watch one of my videos. It was probably... They probably didn't do anything else. They probably just did the enunciator panels and space stations and food courts, didn't they? Food courts is probably what I was trying to think of. But yeah, 3.7.1 is currently on the Open PTU with a hotfix patch. So we've got 3.7.1 live, but now we have 3.7.1e on the PTU with more fixes, because there was people that had account problems still, because they didn't wipe 3.7.1 live, and they went, nah, it's fine. But they've gone, actually we need to wipe it, and we need to fix some more bugs. So that's what they're doing currently. That could be called 3.7.2, that patch. No, there's a little bit more. Otherwise, you'll be like, the music's good. Who's this fucking idiot in the background speaking? So, I've got an origin. I mean, this is probably, I suspect this is not official merch where I got this t-shirt from. So, like, where can I get a t-shirt like that from? Not from any retailers that I would both give you the addresses of. I might have even made it myself. Who fucking knows me? Personal use only, eh? Right, so I did want to talk about NordVPN, which we'll do in a minute. I'll have a quick through the any questions we've got at the moment. Get through some of those, because otherwise I'll be like 30 minutes behind again, like I was last week. Has the hotfix dropped? Only on the PTU, as far as I'm aware.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up, man. What happened to your Sergeant Bordy's Lonely Hearts Club jacket anyway?
Okay, it's just me moving. That's what happens when I move around now. It sounds... Oh! Yeah! I'm in my jacket. Is that what you wanted? It was over there. I had to go over there to get it. I hope you appreciate that, Truman. I will dress up for your amusement happily anytime. And I like this jacket. It makes me think that I'm an officer in the 18th century. But thank you very much, Truman. I love your face. I will try and keep up the good job. That being covering Star Citizen and playing games all day, which I do like. Delamars, the old cube, thank you very much for the resub as well. Oh, lots of resubs, both for 6 months. 6 months in a row. For 6 months. 9 months in total. I don't fucking know what this all means. Thanks for the subs, though. Appreciated. So, Hotfix is on the PTU currently. Hopefully it should be going live in the next few days. I want them to fix a load of the patches, the bugs that 3.7.1 currently has. Although I seem to be unaffected largely by the bugs in 3.7 and 3.7.1. I have multiple accounts though, so maybe it's because if I feel like I'm getting bugged, I just move on to another account. That's probably what it is. Who knows? Or maybe it's just more, a lot of people could be affected, but it's random issues. But hopefully 3.7.1, well 3.7.1 at the moment is very playable for me and some other people. Others are having problems with ships not spawning properly and things like that, which obviously is game breaking. As Star Citizen is heavily focused on simulation, the balance between fun and simulation is important. Do you think the balance has been good so far? What about future features? At the moment, I don't think. At the moment, they're just trying to build the game. So the balance between fun and simulation is not really there at all. Beyond, let's just see if there is a balance between it, or yeah, there's some fun and there's some simulation. We're still putting in elements of the core gameplay, core plate mechanics for ships and stuff like that. So I think fun should trump simulation for the most part. Fun and gameplay should trump simulation, although there's going to be parts that are more driven towards physics and simulation elements. Future features, again, drive them towards fun over simulation, but consider simulation and get it in where possible. I think that's fair enough, right? I am fine today, Matador's Malice. Thank you very much for asking. A little grumpy. Trying to organise some stuff in the background. And people ask me to do certain things. I've been phoning up places for CitizenCon and just, sorry. I have to deal with other people's stuff. Board versus streaming technology. Streaming technology wins. I promise you. Every single time. Menion321. Menion321, thank you very much for the resub. Very much appreciated. Oh, I appreciate the love for my face. It is just here. It is a brute fact. You typing sounds like that the crab Banu Defender coming to get us. Maybe. Let's scuttling around. I could be a little crabby Banu Defender. I'll never fully understand Free Fly. They will push 3.7.1 E2 live PU, and then all the ships flyable and are in our kiosks? No. So, Free Fly events, separate from any patch launches, they can be entirely decoupled. Free Fly events say, you can try Star Citizen for free, as long as you have a Star Citizen account. You don't need a game package, you don't need a ship, and a selection of ships are typically free to fly. I would expect some starter ships, and then some select few. Potentially, it could be some of the winners from the ship showdown that they had a few weeks ago, or recently, as well. But typically, it's a small selection of ships that are also flyable for free for people, whether or not they've got a game package or not. So everyone can do that. You don't need to buy anything. Bam. And if you do have an account already or whatever, and ships, then you typically are able to also fly those free fly ships for free. Have you watched Nubifire's recent flight model video? What are your thoughts? They said. I watched it as I was going to sleep. I can only remember small sections of it as I was drifting off. I need to rewatch it. And it's important for another reason I need to rewatch it. I will rewatch it today. From where in the... From where do you hail in the UK? The south of the UK. As south as you can go in the middle of the country. Just by the Isle of Wight. Is 3.7.1 getting a wipe of accounts? Yes. 3.7.1 hotfix patch that they're currently working on will wipe accounts. That's what they've said. I wish I could Smoky di Malja Wanja, but I cannot because it is illegal in my country. And one day maybe it will be legal, and it will be able to help get rid of my anxiety. Hopefully not lead on to paranoia though. We'll see. One day maybe. Thank you for the potato, matey. Appreciated. You're bigger out of focus. I've heard that before. Thanks. Is Star Citizen Live supposed to be in a minute? Oh, have I done that thing where I do Star Citizen Live things? When is Star Citizen Live this week? So Star Citizen Live is going to be at 5 PM, so that's in 35 minutes. They're going to be making some Noodle assets. I might just continue my stream throughout. They're probably making food and Big Benny's noodles. I'm not moving my stuff for no one anymore. Not today, anyway. I'm pissed off today. I've had to deal with other people's shit and bad planning and organisation. But yes. When is the hotfix and wipeout? It's on the PTU at the moment. Probably later this week. Not later this week. That would be hard to do, seeing it's Friday. Could be today. Probably end of next week is when I'd expect the 3.7.1 hotfix patch to go out, with a load more fixes in it as well. That's what I would want. However, if CIG are trying to push 3.7.1 hotfix patch out soon to fix a load of account issues, to reset all the accounts, then it could be today. And then they'd probably do a 3.7.2 sort of like next week would be my expectation. Wipe should be expected until release. Not necessarily. I suppose, let me give that a caveat, is they are working currently on less wipes, as it were. In fact, in the patch notes, which I will bring up, let's have a look at this. I'll link this here for you as well. Once we go live, a database wipe is planned to accompany... Thank you very much for the bits, Frostzone. And that's not what it says here. Once we go live, a database wipe is planned to accompany this hotfix patch to fix the myriad of account reset issues discovered in 3.7.1. We take the decision to perform a reset very seriously and try to do them as infrequently as possible. We don't perform unscheduled wipes unless we have exhausted all alternative options and are sure it will make your experience significantly better, and this is one of those cases. We were actually able to gather a lot of meaningful data on some of the issues that would not have been possible if we had performed a wipe initially. This will help us better understand what is going wrong and implement long-term fixes. As a reminder, we are working on solutions that will reduce the frequency of these wipes and eventually plan to phase them out altogether. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience. So, there's two things I want to talk about there. They are working on persistent alpha UEC and UEC saved between each patch. So each major patch at some point, hopefully from 3.8 onwards is what I'm hoping, that is I hope, we will see alpha UEC and alpha UEC patches persist from, go on to 3.9, 4.0, all that sort of jazz. Fucking great. And that's what they're working on at the moment. There will still be wipes occasionally when they need them. Yeah, that's going to happen. And there will be a wipe when they move on from alpha UEC to UEC. Once they move on to UEC, and it's literally saved on the website accounts, where people have put money into, some of them, to buy UEC, that will be permanent progression, as far as I'm aware, in every situation. So, bam. What else have we got here? What else have we got? Bam, bam, bam. Will you make live streaming appearances during CitizenCon? I will try and photobomb and interrupt other people's live streams and things they're doing. Not the official ones, because I get in trouble probably. If CIG want me to say hello during a stream or whatever, I'm happy to do so. I don't think I'm a CIG poster boy in any way, shape or form though. I think a lot of people think that I'm like in bed with CIG or whatever. I operate entirely independently from them. I will not accept free things from them. If they want to give me an area to do pressy things in at CitizenCon, I would accept that. But I won't accept free ships. I won't accept free money. I won't accept anything like that. Free tickets to anything. All of the CitizenCon stuff is entirely either, well, I say off my own back, but it's been heavily funded by donations from you guys. So, you know, it's not from CIG, because that would be taking backer money and applying it to me. You see what I mean? So I can't do that. Once they release a game or in the future, I'm not going to rule out any possibilities, but I am entirely non-shill for Star Citizen. I don't get anything fucking from them. I am shill for NordVPN and for Shadow, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Because NordVPN have had some bad things happen. Well, we'll talk about that as well. Who destroys Olisar? So, we know that Port Olisar is going to be replaced by one of the new sort of cargo stations, or something similar to one of the new cargo stations that they're currently building. This isn't the R&R rest stops that we're going to have in 3.8. That's the interiors to the current sort of like new exterior stations. Although parts of those are obviously going to be used to build out other space stations and the cargo stations and the new Port Olisar, whatever it is. So we know that Port Olisar is getting replaced at some point. We just don't know when. We don't know how. Some of the sort of like messages that people were hearing in 3.7.1 from the sort of like radio chatter from the ASOP terminals and stuff, they're sort of like attention citizens of Stanton, grave injustice, and people were like, oh, something's going to happen to Olisar, something's happening in game. We don't know. We don't know when Olisar is getting replaced. We know it's going to be probably within the next few quarters, and yeah. Any news of economy systems? How much will ships cost in game? Well, so that question is sort of irrelevant, and I'm going to tell you why. Tell you why that question's irrelevant, okay? Because you can buy and rent ships in game now. You have been able to, for a while, buy ships in game. So you can go to New Deal, you can go to Teacher's Ship Shop, you can go to Astro Armada, and you can literally buy ships. You can also go to Area 18 and Lawfield, the spaceports there, and rent ships, okay? Do that in game. And they have prices. However, those prices are sort of irrelevant until we have persistence between patches. Yeah, because you might as well just rent. And until they've balanced the economy, because we don't know the value of anything, how it's going to balance towards anything yet. So it doesn't matter if a ship's 20 billion UEC. You go, oh, that's a lot of UEC. Is it? If I get 1 billion every time I do a mission, we don't know how that economy is going to balance yet. So they are working that out, how long it should take per hour, per person, how many hours of work it should take a person to get a particular ship. Some ships are meant to be bought in groups. Yeah. Boxes dropping through floors is a server-based issue. It may be. However, they can probably fix some of that. When I was a young man, my father took me to the city to see the Black Parade. I mean, that sounds a lot more... That was a song lyrics I was doing. When I was a young man, my father took me into the city. Oh my god. What a fucking... I'm wasted on Star Citizen. What are your thoughts on the NordVPN hack and how the company handled it? The company handled it. Okay, so I shill for NordVPN, I shill for Shadow. Okay, reasons I shill for those particular products is because I use them, I like them, they're good, they're cheap and effective for what they are. NordVPN recently were discovered that they had a hack in the past and sort of also announced it. I think it was discovered and then they had to respond to it. So in March of last year or something, they had a data breach. Someone had potentially remote access to their systems for one of their servers, and that could have caused problems. But Nord have said, it's been handled. We were making sure we handled it before we announced anything. And it was only recently announced that they had a data breach. And it looks like they've only announced that because someone had sort of like gone, hang on, you've had a data breach and you haven't said anything about it. So, my thoughts on that are, yeah, that's a shitty way of handling it. I want to know if there's been a data breach so I can protect myself. However, I can see from NordVPN point of view that they wanted to initially make sure they got everything solved, fixed, and the extent of any hack rather than just go, ah! And they basically said, no, it's all good, not a major deal. It could have been a major deal if people had, sent emails and said, join this VPN server, which was actually a fake server that the hackers had used. So they could have got some people's data and stuff like that. So, but I don't believe that was the case in the end. So it could have been a big breach, but it looks like it wasn't a big breach. That's how I understand it anyway. The problem is that NordVPN were caught with their red sort of like hands caught red hands caught, not really wanting to publicize that hack had occurred at all. Yeah? Now, there's multiple things that I think about this, and you can totally disagree with me, and I'm going to go through a bit of a sort of like, what do you think I should do kind of moment. Now, I understand why NordVPN wouldn't want to tell people that they had a hack. Okay? I understand that. They're a capitalist company. It's bad for them. They'll lose business. Yeah? That hack was before I even ever started shilling for them. Not a great excuse from my point of view, but I don't need to make an excuse nor defend NordVPN. Just talking to you about my thought process. Okay? But they had a hack. March last year. Bam. Other VPNs also had hacks. And there's data breaches with every fucking company you can ever think. So I'm not actually too worried or too annoyed about the hack. Okay? Data breaches happen. They've had a data breach. Okay? There's much less likely to have data breaches in the future. That's probably made them significantly more secure. Okay? The only real problem I have that I have to sort of deal with is the public opinion of they should have fucking said something well before getting caught. Do you know what I mean? And they should have said something before, and they didn't. Are they going to learn from that? Probably. Do you understand? Do I understand why they did it? Yeah. Fucking bad play though. Yeah. You did it because if no one had found out ever, you would have made effectively more money because you'd lose less business from it. I like NordVPN as a service. I use it. I'm not worried about my data getting stolen from them. In the same way that, well, it wouldn't matter what other service I'd used. Other services would be more expensive, and I feel like I was just as much risk of them having a data breach. But I don't really 100% know what to do. Like, I like NordVPN as a service. I don't want to randomly sort of like go, well, not with them anymore, I'll go with these guys. Because how am I able to vet if a company hasn't said something? You know what I mean? Like, what if all these other fucking companies are all data breaching all the time and they just say nothing? It's that as well. Like, I can talk to them. I've been assured by Nord that they're, you know, nothing else has gone wrong sort of thing. And they're like, yeah, we want... Basically, their statement is, we wanted to make sure of the full extent of any hack and data breach before we brought it to the public. But it looks like they were... it looks like they have only said about it because someone else mentioned it, basically. Because an Ars Technica article went, look, they've had a data breach. And so have all these other VPNs. So, what I think, personally, at the moment, is that I would probably continue to support NordVPN myself. And it's not to do with the fucking money thing. I'll go into something else that makes me more money or chill for something that better, or whatever. They don't pay me money they don't pay me money directly either to advertise them. I get money from Nord based on if people sign up with my link. Okay? So just so you know how that works. So they don't pay me for just having advertising space or anything like that. I think that it's fine to support them still, based on my feelings for them and the fact I still fucking use them. As long as people are fully aware of what's happened. Yeah? Is that fair enough? Or is that not fair enough? Do you think I need to have some sort of moral stand of, I should not support them? Because I don't really care enough. I'm still going to use them. Is that bad? Am I a bad person? Or am I quite reasonable? Is that a reasonable thing? Is that a bad thing? Like, I'm willing to listen to other people's points of view on that. And go, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. I like to search for information. I don't know what the right thing to do there is. But from my point of view, I would happily continue to support them with links in my videos and say, this is NordVPN. As long as people are fully aware, maybe I should put a little link underneath my NordVPN link saying, this is Jay's 2 cents video or the Ars Technica article saying that they had a breach. Maybe I should just put a little thing, they recently had a breach which they dealt with poorly, but I'm still supporting them. Or maybe I should just go, no NordVPN. No, I'll go to another VPN, which again, could have the same problem in the future. Or something else. There's only a level of vetting I can do. And the level of vetting I do, to be honest, with companies like this, is go, do I like the product? Do I use the product? Good. That's basically it. Okay? Do I recommend the product to others? Yeah, great. I will happily have your affiliate links under my videos. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm. So 20 minutes ago. I will come back to some of these questions. Bam. I'm going to go back to some questions in a minute, but I'm going forward to the NordVPN stuff. Can you use on Pyro? Robert Johnston. Oh my god, thank you, Robert Johnston. Jesus, I didn't even see that. If you think I'm going to throw money at you just because you're wearing an adamant jacket, you're wrong. Oh, mate, I fucking love you. You're a legend. Alfred, thank you very much for the resub. Matadors, Malice, I just want to give you $2. Thank you very much for the $2. Robert Johnson, why do you keep looking over our heads? I don't know. It's actually, don't worry. There's another chat there. I've got multiple chats. I mean, this is my snooty face. I'm looking down upon you. I have an 890 jump. Let them eat NordVPN. sort of thing. There's lots of fucking questions about that. Let's see if there's anything about NordVPN. Anything NordVPN there. So Nord doesn't sponsor me. It's an affiliate link for me. I got no sponsorship from them. Got no money coming directly in them for supporting them. It's if people use my affiliate links. So I'm not sponsored by them in the traditional sense. Will you actively keep people aware then? I don't know how to do that beyond having a little mention or link below my Nord links. I'm happy to, as part of my weekly news or as a separate video or as my channel update, talk about the NordVPN situation and explain my thoughts around that. Happily to do that so that people have something that's informed and then I can actually link to that video. If it will be hacked, more like when it will be hacked. Yeah, so there's data breaches with everything, isn't there? So even like banks and financial services and stuff always get breached. So data breaches happen. It's about how they're handled, and hopefully they're secure enough that if there is any form of data breach, then nothing happens from that breach, or the data is immediately re-encrypted or changed or whatever, so that people can't, intercept your traffic or spoof a server or whatever. That's the thing for VPNs. I like VPNs just for being able to, potentially access services that aren't throttled. You can see stuff from other countries' points of view, stuff like that. And it's just general privacy. Obviously, it makes it harder for people to DDoS me and things like that as well. You're in a good mood today? No. Yeah, I'm in an alright mood. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Rob Johnson's just chucking a fuck ton of money at me. That makes me a lot better mood. If Boros... Oh, no, we'll talk about that in a second. No healthy people think you're a CIG shield. That's true. I'm not a CIG shield. I mean, I'd admit it if I was. I'd say anything they've given me. They have given me a teacup and saucer. I have been offered some things as part of going to like events or whatever, or race things or whatever, which I have refused all of them. Are they going to bring back the gravity effect in the flight model? So, yes. They are reducing the power of thrusters in atmosphere, and they're tweaking the atmospheric flight model more, yes. So you should see improvements to that in the near future. But exactly what extent, how it's going to feel and look, I don't know yet. But they will obviously have gravity simulated in the atmospheric model. Right. Question: NordVPN, how much of a latency or lag is it when using to play Star Citizen? Because it doesn't advertise issues with the persistent universe. It doesn't cause any issues with me. I've used NordVPN with Shadow, and I've used it with Star Citizen, and I've used it with Shadow and Star Citizen. It seems fine. You use that Shadow gaming thing you mentioned? Yes, I use it semi-regularly. Typically, I will double check to make sure it works with every major and minor patch for Star Citizen. I use it when I'm on the go on my phone or on my laptop. to do editing work and to play Star Citizen and some other games occasionally. It's very useful for that. I like Shadow. I think Shadow's great, and I think cloud gaming is going to be a large part of the future when it comes to cloud gaming services and cloud gaming PCs and stuff like that. NordVPN is still better than free VPNs. You haven't promised anything more than that. That is true, and I hate the free VPNs that basically mine your data. So they're not great. I do like NordVPN, and I can't change the fact that I don't care enough, or I don't think that don't care enough is probably too strong and might piss people off. But I'm not annoyed enough about the data breach to be like, I'm going to take a moral high ground and ignore them. Like, I have a small amount of loyalty towards that brand that I'm not just going to abandon them if they've done something wrong. That's a stupid thing. How major was it? Moderately major. Okay? Them not telling people that they've had a data breach, which looks like that data breach hasn't caused any issues. But they should have said, they didn't. Idiotic. They do something again, and probably just going to be gone. Yeah? Does that seem reasonable? That's probably what I'm going to do. I've seen the J2 Cents video on it, and I follow his reasoning as well. He basically went, look, like them, good service, that's why I supported them. I think at the moment, I'm not going to use them. I think that's what he said at the end, I'm not going to use them, but in the future, probably use them again. Which is fine. I think as long as people can make an informed decision, it's fine. So what I'll do is, in my channel update, I'll probably talk about NordVPN at the beginning of it, and then I'll link at the end of my links on my videos. NordVPN had a data breach in March 2018, which they handled poorly, or at least handled the information about it poorly, or didn't give the information, or something like that. I'll work out exactly how to phrase that so it's accurate, and then people can be more informed before clicking on that. Is that fair enough? I think that's fair enough. Let me get back. I'll answer any more questions on that in a bit, but let me get back to Star Citizen general ones. I'm good. Like new Profiles flight video. We've got to about 20 minutes in, so I'm quite far behind in questions now. It's okay, I'll power through these. Hi, Board. Why are you becoming more entertainment for me than info on YouTube? Haha, keep it up, you monster. What? That's not a question. Well, it sort of is. Why am I becoming more entertainment? I don't know, me. My information is just getting shitter. That could be read either way. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, Starkiller. Thank you very much. I am planning to start doing a lot more gameplay and gameplay-centric videos in addition to my content. I'm working with some other content creators for some stuff in the not-too-distant future. And obviously got someone that's going to be starting with me at some point when we can get her pension sorted, which is complicated. Should patch 3.7.1 have been 3.7? And had the giant sandworm into the verse. Jag, you love that sandworm far too much, but yes, it should have had the sandworm. You're right. What leads you to believe that next year will be the year of modularity? Do you know secrets? No. So I don't know that for sure. However, looking at the development process of Star Citizen, it looks like early to mid next year they'll be working on physicalized damage and physicalized components. And then the natural progression for core tech after that is to have modularity and swappable items and stuff. That makes the most sense to me. And if I drew a full roadmap to completion, which I might do as a video and as a thought exercise at some point, that's where I'd put it. Sort of like third quarter next year, would I start to see lots of modular items and components coming in. Not gonna lie, I cried a little bit when I learned I was gonna lose all my ship upgrades. It took 300 plus bounties to pay for it. Oh my god. Soon, Reggie, soon we will have persistence with monies. Soon. Do you believe the addition of the new solar system will greatly slow the frame rate in the PTU? So in the persistent universe. PTU is the public test universe. The PTU patches and live patches are the two different ones. Test patches PTU, live patches live. But they're all in the PU, persistent universe. So the idea is that when we have server meshing, or with creative use of server-side object container streaming, you shouldn't have slow frame rates because the servers are significantly more efficient when rendering larger areas, and they can sort of like stand by areas and then understand by them when necessary. So They could probably have multiple star systems in the game just with server-side object container streaming, but limiting it to 50 players still for the server, because the single server would still be handling them all. And they could also do it that as a stopgap, they have servers that are not server meshed in any way, shape, or form, handling different systems, and they just hand over information in a less seamless way. I know some secrets from going to office tours and, you know, talking to people and stuff, but, you know, not stuff that's secret. Fuck you. See, when I get back from CitizenCon, I'll have basically I'll have my notebook and I'll have recordings. Now, the recordings, they're fair game for the most part, of stuff that I will use in videos or might clip together, but I'll definitely do a summary of all of that information. Some of the notes that I gather from drunken devs or people that have told me stuff more in confidence, I will look through and see what is appropriate to disseminate. Anything that's given to me in confidence or by very drunken people, I will still not talk about. That is just something I just don't want to do. I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me when it comes to, you know, I don't want a bad relationship with CIG, even though I won't take stuff directly from them. I think that's fair enough as well. What do you think the jibber-jabber broadcasting coming over the Port Olisar portends to? I think it's more missions and potentially some teasers for CitizenCon and the future. It could just be like Levski and things like that. But it sounds piratey. It sounds like it's mission-related. It sounds like it's part of the lore of the system. It could very well be part of a story event or something. I mean, I don't know is the thing. And that's cool that I don't know. Star Citizen Live starting in 10 minutes. I'm probably going to stream for a bit longer. If people are staying here, then I'll just continue to chat and do my own thing. I'm not too interested in watching them build a Big Benny's noodle container or food or whatever they're doing. It sounded specifically like it was making food items game dev, which is cool if you're into that sort of thing. And I'm sure there will be stuff they'll be talking about that's cool. But when will they add 4.1 to the roadmap? I would expect from CitizenCon onwards sort of time. They'll probably update the roadmap a significant amount. Did you ever play Star Wars Galaxies? Very briefly. I had lots of friends that did, and I watched them play. A lot of people that I know are interested in Star Citizen were previously in my Star Wars Galaxies guild. Friendship there has lasted 15 years. Fucking hell. I got ruined by Jedi, that game. If I cleared the Pirate Swarm in PTU Arena Commander, do I get the Gladius badge? No, you have to do it in the live build of the game. Very off topic, my brother has a Stalker. Can I buy a Stalker to Adi, DCU with cash, and gift it to him? You can gift DCU upgrades, yes, I believe. You'll be able to still do that. Will you be able to buy UEC with money? That is the plan, yes. And won't that be pay to winish? It is to some extent, yes. So pay to win depends how you define it. But if you define it at the lowest level, which is any form of advantage, then buying UEC with money is a pay to win element. Yep. There are going to be limits to the amount you can buy every day and every week, all that sort of stuff. So it depends on how they handle that. Obviously, we can buy starships at the moment, spaceships at the moment. But I see it as probably a very similar thing to the way EVE does Plex. It's going to affect the economy very minimally, and it's not going to, hopefully not be pay to win in the way that breaks the game. So I am okay with that, as long as it's handled correctly. It seems that Lorville has gotten way slower in 3.7 than it was in 3.6. What do you think that is? I haven't had bad problems in Lorville with 3.7. 40 to 50 frames typically when I'm running around the city. Do you believe that the addition of a new solar system will greatly slow? That's what we talked about already. If Port Olisar is replaced, where will the initial spawn point be? That's a good question. I mean, it might just be replaced by a new station that is the default spawn point. We might get to choose our spawn point, or we might all spawn at Lawville or something. I don't 100% know. What else have we got here? Anyone know a good PvP ship trying to get good at PvP? I used to love the Arrow, though I haven't used it much in 3.7, especially since they've nerfed it slightly, well, reasonably. So I need to mess around with that again. Hello, hello, hello. Bored, if you feel that NordVPN is safe, then go ahead and use them. But you might have to add a caveat that you're aware that they had a breach. I am now aware they had a breach. I will probably put something underneath the links just saying they recently had a breach. Just for full disclosure, they recently had a breach, which they... yeah, I need to think of a way of wording it so it's appropriate and accurate. And then I'll link either to have a really, really tiny little sentence, TLDR, so people will be able to search on that, or link like the J2 Sensible Else Technica article. I think that's what I probably am going to do. Any news on Pyro? So no true news, other than I got duped by someone, 3 different people actually, but someone that I trusted and who also believed it to be a leak, saying, look, here's a picture of Pyro in game. And it wasn't. It was a picture of a planet from Star Wars. Bring this up on the screen so you can see that the leak I was tricked by. This is what the leak I was tricked by. 3 different people sent me this. I went Pyro from Game Dev. I was like, okay, cool. Tried to tech with people, didn't get any responses. So I went, okay, well, I'll run a video on it saying received this, and the people say it's a leak because one of them's a trusted source. And I said it could be fake. So thank fucking God I said it could be fake, because later on that day, like within half an hour, someone went, that is Panda Mustafa from The Lion King. No, from Star Wars. And I said, okay, cool. I don't Star Wars much. I'm sorry. I'm a Star Trek person. If there is anything I can spend my Alpha UEC on now that will... Is there anything I can spend my Alpha UEC on now that will survive the upcoming wipe? No. You know what patch it will be for personal storage, like lockers. So that's full physicalized inventories, which we were actually expecting in 3.7, but instead we had the commodity system, the personal commodity system, which is a step towards that. Don't know when full physicalized lockers and storage is coming. I would expect it within the next few quarters, though. You call Robert, indeed. You called a live broadcast. Timothy J. Mulliton. Thank you very much for the money. Do you think we'll be able to purchase the the F7A Mark II? So you'll be able to buy, I believe, the military versions of a load of the ships in-game, or their civilian counterparts for the most part. Squadron 42, playing that apparently unlocks the ability to buy things like the F8C, the civilian version of the Lightning. I think that's what they said. Will we be able to buy the F7A specifically? I don't 100% know. I would expect it would be obtainable in-game. In some way, and probably about to buy it off someone else that had got it another way as well. So that's my expectation, yeah. I need to rewatch Nubifire's flight model rant, as people are calling it. I suspect he's got some good points that I agree with, and some good points that I disagree with. He's already said he liked the older flight model and doesn't like a lot of this new stuff that's in there. Do you think they'll ever create a weaponized version of the Grey Cat with rear-mounted railgun size 2 and call it a Black Cat? No. So, you are going to be able to shoot weapons from side seats soon. So your passenger will be able to lean and fire a railgun. Although I do like the idea of having a weapon on the Grey Cat buggy. Is perfectly mined rocks supposed to randomly explode and take off a leg? Happens sometimes on FPS mining and Prospector. Never touching red. After broke, it'll explode. No one mentions it. No, so I suspect some of them are supposed to in the future, like because of pockets of gas and stuff in them as well. But, you know, damaging your ship from mining an asteroid perfectly, that shouldn't happen. So, I mean, it's a mixture of, what, bugs and balance that's needed. Bug fixes, not bugs that are needed. Bug fixes that are needed. But I think that the mining thing's going to get a little bit more complex in the future with you have to work out the composition of the asteroid. And yes, some of these asteroids are going to have large explosion radiuses even if mined correctly because of gas buildup or because of exactly what they're made of. The Aquila Constellation, what is it that's holding up the release to us? You're talking about the Taurus rather than the Aquila. The Aquila's in game. The Taurus, we don't know. It could very well be coming out secretly with a patch, so like 3.8 or released before that for some reason. I'm not sure why it's been delayed so much. It's a very simple little edit, is what I thought, unless they're reworking the constellations. The snub docking, undocking with the constellations is awaiting ship-to-ship docking, which has been removed from the roadmap while they work out where it's going to fall. We don't know when ship-to-ship docking is coming. They have said, but once that is in, they will, at the same time, they have to have snub and their parent ships docking and undocking. He's evolving. Streaming is beating his anxiety, so he gets more confident each stream. He's charging. That's not entirely true. I'm bipolar, so sometimes I'm going to be super fucking confident, and other times I'm going to be like, what do I do? And sometimes I'm just going to be awkward and weird. So today is a mixture of confident and awkward and weird. The sandworm, as viewed, is dumb. Oh, wow. This banning you for 30 seconds or so. Should behave less like a stationary wiggly noodle and more like a breaching whale dolphin. Like the sandworms of Icarus. It's June. Icarus? Icarus. Arrakis! That was the fucking one, wasn't it? It was called Arrakis. June. Fucking love June. Banu Defender with 4 FL-33s has quickly become my favourite cruiser fighter. Deal with it. Good for you, shite. Good for you. Thank you for people tracking. We'll update the super chats to go into the Bastards and Drinky Fund. So, what I'm thinking of is during the day before CitizenCon, we are going to, like from midday onwards, we're going to toddle around the area where the evening official bar citizen is going to be. So from midday onwards, the official bar citizen is at 6. There's a few pubs in that area, and we're going to list one of them, potentially we'll list one of them as sort of like a rallying point for the community. So like if you get lost, if you're bored, if you don't know what to do, we're going to be here. Or at least some of us will be here. And then we're going to list pubs that are within like 30 seconds of that, and the impossible venue, which is where the bar citizen is going to be, the official one. They're all super close to each other, that have different food, and we sort of like recommend based on other people's recommendations. We've been collating that for the last few days. And then we can have like a mini pub crawl, or at least a little triangle where people can literally just run across the plaza, and there's a different group of citizens there, different types of food, different drinks. It's within a few seconds of each other. That's the joy. And then we can trundle down to the people who've got tickets for the bar citizen event in the evening, can trundle down there, and the other venues can be used as overflow for people that don't have tickets, or for people that want to break from that venue, or whatever. So thank you very much for any monies that's going in there. I will get devs drunk and question them on things. Hi, Board. Will there only be special ships like the Carrack, maybe, to jump between systems, or... Oh, no, that most ships will be able to jump systems. Snubs shouldn't be able to. I think you need a quantum, an actual quantum drive. You need a jump drive. You need a jump drive for it. I haven't really had a need for jump drives yet, but... Can't we watch it with you? What are you trying to watch with me? What do you want? Oh, the Star Citizen Live. It's just going to be the making noodles and packaging. I started doing that, and then people were like, you're talking over them. Actually, we can fucking put it on in the background. Why not? Why not? We'll put it on in the background. Yeah, you see what we've got? You've asked me to do something, and I'll do it. Hope you're happy. Why is... Why have I put this over here? Oh, he knows. He bloody knows. Twitch. I'll put it on silent, though. That'll teach you. What the hell? Terminator, Dark Fate in the background. Apparently it's a good film, and someone wants me to go see it tonight. I think I've got enough time. A bit overly busy. Lots of CGI. I can obviously see the CGI now. Right, let's come on, get rid of this. I don't want to get done for going your shit. Bam. So we'll have this on the background while we chat. I can do the voices if you want. Oh, we're building some things for Star Citizen. It's not how any of them talk. I'm not sure why I'm doing that voice. We can. I'll put them on very laxly. Oops.
Which actually required taking it up elevations, not quite stairs, but steps. Yeah. And you saw players spend a lot of time.
So I'm going to be talking over this.
Rolling
deal with
their
that.
character,
Okay.
Get into a prone position.
I'm going to go through my questions.
trying to get under the vending machine. And push
That's
it
right. I hope that doesn't annoy people.
It was
like music in the background, right?
It was quite an endeavor back in the day.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then after that,
can watch it with me. I've allowed it.
One of the April
I love you, Robert Johnston. You're literally a legend. That's right. Do what I say. Thanks very much. I will. Robert Johnston, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being ridiculously financially supportive. It's silly what you do, and I very much appreciate it. As I said, if there's anything I can ever do for you, mate, let me know. Does the iteration version after a major release, i.e. 3.7.x, waste valuable development time of that dev team moving on to 3.9? So that's certainly an argument. It depends. If there is a dedicated team to bug fixing and hotfixes, no, it doesn't. If it's a small team that does that. If it's requiring people from other disciplines that are working on 3.9 stuff, who then work on 3.7.x stuff, then yes, it would. But I believe it is the former. I believe it is a smaller bug team that is dedicated to hammering out those bugs, for the most part. And then things that can't be fixed like that will go into the 3.8 branch.
Named Years 100, who some of you old timers might remember. Years 100 went through and collected a bunch of footage from the community of those various Big Benny's runs and edited it together into a wonderful video, and that was a wonderful.
Have you heard of anyone not being able to see their ship in game this patch? I've heard of people their ships not spawning properly and spawning without components.
It was the Ballad of Big Benny's.
There was a myriad of account problems that they required people to have them have their accounts reset manually. But that's one of the things the hotfix patch is doing. It's going to reset everyone's account again, which is annoying. But
and when you're going to make a Ballad of Big Benny's, of course, it's going to be EDM. Electro pop,
yeah,
because why not?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's got a wonderful bass drop, a psychedelic bass drop.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the theme tune is probably the crazy blippy.
That was.
Does UEC bought on the website? Yeah, so UEC bought on your website, or you otherwise have on your account, adds to your starting UEC, Alpha UEC everywhere. Yes, it adds to it.
When you eat that much MSG.
Yeah. Who did the vocals?
Is there a place you can currently buy the Hornet ball turret so I can switch it out?
Not cleared to actually.
I don't 100% know. If it's anywhere, it will be at ArtCorp
whenever you say something
in Pentamass.
You have to pay them.
I don't know for sure. I don't have that sort of. I know a lot about Star Citizen development, but I don't have the sort of like meta knowledge of where everything is. I will start to put databases together for that.
Because then people will look that person up and throw a bunch of traffic at that person, and without talking to them before I do that, it's just not fair.
Right.
So you are making a bowl.
We have finished the bowl, I think. So I'm going to bring this in engine, and we should see our TP.
Next Generation is my favourite Star Trek series.
Row.
though I do kind of like them all.
Do behave. 1 second. Technical issues.
Ah, well, I was not a fan of Discovery, the new one. Ugh.
Cool. Yeah, so basically with the bowl... Oh, there she goes.
Did we just crash making a bowl?
We did just crash making a bowl, yep. So don't worry about it. It's because I brought it in as the wrong format. Don't worry.
We'll wait for.
Yeah. Will we get
Get that back up there.
out
So,
digital goodies armor when
my kind of
CitizenCon
rationale
happens,
with
or
this,
we have to wait
we
like
wanna-
almost a year
we're
like
making
we
this
did
a
some of
little
the
bit
last
3D.
stuff? That's a good point.
I will show you in a second when the
I don't know.
reboots.
I don't
we're
know.
going to be kind of using
I suspect some of those items will be out immediately when
hot dog.
CitizenCon comes out, and some of them
I
will
don't
have
know
to
if you
wait.
guys have seen the
Hopefully, it's
massive
all of them
plastic
that are
hot
out.
dog hologram
They do have sort of like a dedicated team working
for
on
the
flair
Lumberyard
and
food
those sort of
carts.
items. So
Basically, my inspiration for those.
I may have
remember,
missed this info over the
the
years.
original Toy
but
Story. There was that.
We think there will be a monthly sub to play Star Citizen ? Seems like that's the only way to stop ship sales
so
and
on
have
the top
most
of that thing,
MMOs.
this is very
Most
obscure, and I
MMOs
don't
have a
know why,
sub.
but for some
So
reason
there's
it's
multiple
really
ways they can
cool.
monetize Star
It's got,
Citizen.
like, this
They've said they
rugged
don't
plastic
want to have
flat
a
thing
monthly
on
sub.
top,
It's going to be a
right, and I really
buy-to-play
wanted to
game,
encapsulate
and they're going to sell DVC and starter
semi-transparent
packages and game
plastic that
packages
kind of has a light inside it.
to fund the game.
See
But
it.
they would
So that
consider
was my reference
other
for the,
monetization as the game goes on,
I shouldn't say my
if
reference, my
appropriate.
inspiration for the hot
But
dog.
that was the
So
sort of
we're gonna
thing.
do a similar treatment for our big
I
venue.
think that subscriptions are unlikely
So,
unless they're
since
voluntary
the editors are doing
subscriptions.
that, why don't we get started with the face?
And that's something that probably could happen
Now,
significantly
I
later
have
in Star
potentially
Citizen's
two
development.
ways of doing this. I was
We'll bear that in
thinking we
mind.
could either make
I suspect
a
they'll still
3D
do
version of the
ship
face, so we
sales
could actually, you know, cut
and
the mouth
concept
out and
ships
push it in,
and things like that.
create the eyes in 3D, or we could take the graphics and we can put those on planes, kind of like map it.
Do you think with melee combat we get melee weapons? Melee weapons were listed with the melee combat leak that I saw. So knives specifically is what I saw listed. Takedowns that were with knives and takedowns without. And quite a full-blown melee combat system with dodging, blocking, light, medium attacks, takedowns, stuns, knockdowns. I'd be okay with a mandatory monthly sub as well, but a lot of people have bought the game not expecting that. So,
like a surgeon.
I wouldn't think that's appropriate, because they said they weren't going to do that. But as long as CIG keep us informed of everything they're going to do, I'll be a lot happier. I'd be fine in the far future, in like 10 years, like, oh, Star Citizen now needs a monthly sub to keep the service going. Okay, probably be okay with that then.
The yellowy border you see around the corner, that will be disappearing when we get it in game. But I'm just going to pop the eyeball out. So we could do something like that, so we could take the eyeball.
Any recommendations for external apps and tools to use with Star Citizen? I'm liking Game Glass. Game Glass is great. Voice Attack's great. Yeah. Yeah, Game Glass and Voice Attack. They are two great ones. They've got HCS voice packs, which go with Voice Attack, make your experience even better. My Radar, I have a weather app, but they also have a map on it that you can mark locations on. I think that's going to get some more love. Then My Radar are actually having a booth at CitizenCon, so that says they're probably having a future relationship with CIG. There's trade apps and things like that, like Texas Skulls does a great trade app. There's some other ones I've seen in the works as well. When will we be able to drive our Grey Cats into our hangars? They are going to have physicalized hangars at some point. I just don't know when.
We can always do it with.
I would expect after server meshing.
For maximum fidelity.
Would make more sense, because otherwise you'd have to load in your physicalized hangar into each server separately, which wouldn't make much sense.
You guys are seeing us, right?
You've got customizable habs at the moment, from your rented hab, as it were, and that we should actually move places they're not fully physicalized. Yeah, the changes that you make in a hab, like you go to Hurston, and you spawn in that hab there. If you put like a load of turtles in that room, every time you spawn, you'll be in that room. That room might move around, but you'll be in your room with all the changes that you made. But it might be on the 3rd floor rather than the 2nd floor now, and things like that. Number 10 rather than number 7. Are you going to join us at Reindeer Games? What's this? What is he talking about?
Right, we're back.
You surface FPS rocks respawn after a time in the same place, like Hadanite clusters. I don't know if they spawn in the same place. They definitely spawn near the same place. I would expect them to spawn in the same place, thinking about it. I've not even thought about the actual larger minables and minables on the surfaces of planets. But yeah, so it would expect them to, at the moment, spawn within very specific areas. But in the future, in specific areas, but much larger areas and a little bit more random and detecty would be my expectation. By detect you, I mean you'd have to scan for them.
Oh.
Bear with me 1 second, I just need to quickly bio. See? I knew this shit would happen in the background. Making a Benny's noodle bowl and it's all going wrong.
No, they changed it, so that was the end of the track.
Okay.
I'm trying to fix the FPS right now.
Hang in there, guys. Crush the editor again. I seem to always have this curse where I do something live and then the editor just misbehaves.
Here, look at Corey for a minute.
Hello! Don't mind me, just trying to fix some things. Is everyone having a good day? I unfortunately can't see the chat at the moment, but I hope you are all having a lovely morning / evening. Oh, we have a no signal thing.
I'm working on it.
No pressure, Jared.
Of course, it was fine during the whole thing.
Yeah. Of course, I'm also having technical issues with the editor at the moment, which is always fun. We're in this together, buddy. I'm just going to carry on making my big Benny.
There we go.
Are we back? Is the frame rate okay?
Yep, frame rate's fine now.
Lovely.
Just
So,
something with that input card.
sweet. Sorry about the little jump there, guys, but I'm just making a 3D version of the eyeballs as well, so we can see how that looks. Because might look kind of cool having the eyeballs 3D. I'm thinking I'm just going to make them like jet black and make them nice and shiny, so you get that same kind of effect. Let's just pop that on there. So that is okay. Right, this time it's going to behave, I promise. Well, I don't promise. I hope. Anyway.
It's kind of reminding me of when Pac-Man first went 3D.
Yeah, it kind of. I was thinking about this. It might look like I don't know, like Mario, like the first 3D Mario. I mean, they Nintendo. Yeah, it's quite good, but it's always strange when you see a character in a different format for the first time, right?
Right.
So I'm hoping that with this guy, doesn't look too spooky. I mean, if it does look spooky, it's October, so
It becomes a Halloween episode.
happy Halloween. Yeah, exactly. But I think it'll look kind of fun. I'm just eyeballing this at the moment. But that is because we're kind of just figuring out how this is going to look. We can always, obviously this geometry is crazy dense as well, which we'll tidy that up as well. But for now, we're just having a little noodle around.
You're taking advantage of my incredible jet lag to get these terrible puns.
One of us
through.
has to do the terrible puns, okay? And if you're not in the punniest of moods, that looks kind of. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about characters that are not ours, but this looks like somebody. If you think you know who it looks like, let me know, because I'm not gonna say.
I think I like the 3D approach better than just pasting the other ones on there.
I think it can look cool. I think we just need to finesse it a bit more. It still looks a little bit. It's just mostly the position. It looks a little bit funny. We can fix it.
Hi, Tyler. Tyler goes, if it crashes again, you just need to say red 1 in chat to help try to fix it. For the person who's asking about questions, you can submit some questions in chat if you want. Our game dev streams are less about Q&As and more about just following along with the process. It's not to say that we won't ask some questions and answer. It's just that we only have an hour to try to get this going, and we tend to like our audience to focus.
Yeah, if I am quiet, I do apologize. I'm just into this. Yeah, it looks kind of creepy, doesn't it?
I love it.
Yeah. All right. So that's him with
Go
like
ahead.
cute,
I went to get a cup of tea.
cute-ish picture art. I will probably mirror
Oh.
this one so the gleams go the same way. Like that.
Right.
I'm gonna try it now with.
Parents are downstairs and they
fully
wanted to know
3D,
when to put the
you know,
porcini
fidelity,
mushrooms
like, oh, hello.
into
Fidelity.
their food because it doesn't tell them in the
Oh,
recipe. So I had to show them when it's appropriate to
think?
put them in.
I think if we change the
How many classes am I? I got
bit,
porcini mushrooms, mate. You fucking deal with that.
losing issues at the moment.
Huh.
I think that looks kind of cool, right?
Right, sorry. I took an extra couple of minutes there.
Also slightly
At the end of the stream, an 80-story tall version of this will
What else have we got here?
trampling down Times
Yeah.
Square.
The CIG's priorities of what to work on is
I like the
interesting.
3D eyes pretty
Some of
much.
it's obviously driven by Squadron
I've got my
42's
reference
needs.
here. I'm just trying to like.
And some of it's driven by what's sensible in sort of like, we need to do this, prerequisites, and sort of like stepping stones
Will
towards
this be a
other
new
tech.
NPC?
And some of it seems slightly more
hopefully
random
not.
and
in the future.
confused. I
Yeah.
like the hot dogs.
I'm going
Nice.
with the 3D eyes, I think. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I said luckily for everyone involved. NPCs
How would you
are
feel about a
the
stealth
part-
Corvette? Do you feel there's
If
any
we had
room
to make
in it
NPCs.
for the verse?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, more stealthy
I'm not
capital
gonna
ships,
say
fine.
anything incriminating.
Stealth
I would love
tech
to see,
in
like,
Star
more,
Citizen
like,
doesn't
full
exist
sweepy
in a
robots.
traditional sense. There's no cloaking. You can have armor, which makes you harder to detect. You can have stuff that is e-warfare-y, and that sort of stuff. And you can have systems and items on your ship, which again
just like
trade off
rumors.
like their power or their
Every place will have one, if you ask me.
how fragile they are or something to be more
Just
stealthy,
so
to
we're gonna
be
see this
slightly
game,
more
I don't
stealthy.
know, D. Davis.
So stealth Corvette, stealth capital ships,
let's see what
stealth
we
whatever
break out.
makes
We
sort of
are-
sense
we are
in a lot of
looking
things.
Towards,
Ooh, we're 20 minutes in.
yeah, exactly.
But it's not
already
just
through.
and
I
this
need to
is
get those
invisible.
noodles in, don't I, really? And the chopsticks as well. It'll come together quite quickly once we're there.
I don't know if the Orinth
So I'm
scrapyard is still
You know,
broken
when
on
we-
Hurston
when we
yet.
do
I
those
will check that
streams
out
where we make
probably
things,
later this weekend.
Not always.
I'm
but
doing
oftentimes
some-
they'll get submitted for
I'm doing some
various
stuff with some content
review and
creators
approval,
for some
and
cool
they'll
videos in
either
the future. Hopefully
go
cool
forward
videos
and
in the
change
future.
drastically, or they'll go,
Starting
no.
moving towards more what you can
I
do in
think-
Star Citizen
I
and
think
how you
for
do
something
it,
like this,
and
yeah,
sort of
it
like
depends really.
the
I
progression
would
and the gameplay, and then
personally
with every major
think
patch,
a
looking at that
design
gameplay
quite
in a more
Of course, I'm going to say that 'cause I'm the guy making it. But
in a way
Maybe
that's
even like
real,
hangars
with other content
or
creators
subscribers.
is the idea. So
that'd be cool.
that will be pretty soon. You'll start to see some stuff and go,
I'm
oh, that's what he
looking
was
forward to the
talking about.
hologram version. So you'll notice on the left here, I've got a.
Will more ship have custom jump
got the hot
effects like
dog,
the
and this is the
Defender?
hot dog
I
I've
would
talked
expect
about. So you see how
every
it's got the
alien
little
race to
flickering
have their
lights in
own
it.
custom
It's
jump
like mega
effect.
grubby and kind of has that plastic feel.
So you'll see it with the
Dampening,
Vandal, you'll see it with the Devaran, you'll see it with the Kurthak, if we see the
So we
Kurthak.
can actually take
you see it
our,
with the Xi'an,
Big Benny's guy here,
the
and we can
Banu.
override that material with the holographic version as well.
I'm so frustrated about this
So
fight.
we
Yes, I know a lot of
basically get
people are.
2 for 1 on this guy.
Twerk called
it's
it.
quite-
Twerk said there was going to be a wipe with 3.7.1.
So we're just gonna get
He was wrong about it being
I'll
with
tell you
the
what, I actually
original
like
live
the
build.
background.
Right, salty Mike.
It
Any ideas when we get 4.1 to the roadmap?
feel like
I would
I'm
expect it
gonna
at CitizenCon BG.
Could play some very tension music.
Well,
like Can't
What would be your view on the Mantis
Yeah.
having additional power
know
for
how
its
well
dampening
I feel
field,
about
a
that.
gravity well generator that would have the effect of
Exactly, that'd be great.
uh, the larger
minutes
the
we have
ship, the
keywords
slower the
over.
acceleration?
We're
Oh,
running out of
no, I like that
time.
idea. I like the idea of a gravity well generator for a different ship. Like,
Them's what it is.
I like the idea that well, maybe a ship can do both with different modules. But
If you do have any
I like the
questions
idea
in
of
chat,
quantum
take
dampening,
to
and I like the
props,
idea of slowing
or
ships
anything
as
prop
two
related.
different things.
I'm not
So
gonna
you
be
might
able
want to have
uh,
both, like the
answer
Weather Fires
questions
and
when there's a certain ship
in
coming out. Don't ask
in
those
Eve.
kind of questions.
I like that
If you
idea.
have any questions about props in the game or anything you might think I would be able to help you with, feel free to fire them in.
What would happen if Star Citizen decided to play your stream at the back of their stream? You know you have like 25 tabs open. I have a lot more than that.
There you go.
I've got over 100 open, I'd say.
But we'll get those on there.
I got over 100 open. Got screen here, screen here, screen here, screen here. Okay, you
Yeah,
just
this is
seen
all kind of
one of
quick,
my
responsive
screens,
work at the
probably
moment.
with the smallest amount of tabs
I
open.
will go through and tidy it up. Hey, where's I forgot to apply the material to it. I'm a silly sausage.
What's the prop that you're most proud of?
So I'm able to produce
Good
videos
question.
constantly and keep up to date on the information.
I
Like go
recently
through it.
got to do my first ship weapon. That was quite fun.
That's right, because a lot of the weapons have moved over to the.
CIG have replied to one of my requests
We're kind of taking
I
on
emailed them
a
about
bit more.
from June today and went, sorry, we can't help you with this. What? Thanks. Thanks for keeping me waiting. Fucking hell.
There you go. Now we've got some chopsticks. That's looking cool.
Actually, I'll tell you what I
I
asked.
would love to animate this as well.
They said, we can't help you with any more information than there's available on the website directly at this time. Okay, so what I asked was, can you give me a breakdown of how many devs you have working at each of your studios and what disciplines they're in? So just I want to know how many people you have working on art, on ships, on the AI, just in generalistic terms, and how many people are devs over management and administration staff and janitors and things.
We got a little line.
So I'll find that information out another way. I'll probably ask it through PR. I asked it through concierge system, maybe not appropriate medium to ask through, but I'll ask them in a more pressy way. I should probably start approaching CIG more like press. Will future quarterly releases move to whole system releases as opposed to slow process of releasing planets and moons over time? I'd expect a mixture of the two. The idea with the moons and planets they've been building over the time is because they are still working on the general tech for it and the general procedural tech for it, and they're working on biomes. So they will get to a stage where they are more able to just release whole systems, yes.
Hung over the noodles.
That's my expectation anyway. I can't say for sure, but that's what it looks like, yes.
Where's the connect tool? There you go.
Any news on the Orion? Cool ship coming to game. Yes, massive strip miner. It's doubled in size. It's huge. We don't know when it's coming.
Disco, I missed the first 10 minutes.
New anvil ship at CitizenCon? Yes, almost certainly. I would at least expect to see the Pisces, because we sort of been leaked that probably likely that the Pisces and the Carrack will be there. Maybe that's what they've been working. Maybe they have been working on ship-to-ship docking. But I suspect there's a hangar bay in there. In the Carrack, that's what it looked like.
So we'll get those on there. I'm just eyeballing it.
We could see a big anvil ship at CitizenCon. It makes sense because that's the sort of thing they do because they know it will sell well. And we could see anvil vehicles, anvil ships. But yeah, new ships and vehicles, or at least ships at CitizenCon.
When the noodles align, the path will be revealed.
And we need the chopsticks kind of intersecting them like that, don't we?
Board, has CIG released any information regarding your character's needs to eat, sleep, and hygiene? Would rather my character take care of these things while I'm logged off. So would I. So, this is interesting because I thought this as well, DS. So, we've got the play status system coming in soon, which will track not just oxygen, health, stamina, which it currently tracks, but also heat, hygiene, inebriation, food, hunger, thirst, and once those are tracked, you'll have a need to eat, basically. So the idea is, as I understand it, that if you are not rested well, if you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're not drinking, whatever, you will have less stamina, effectively. Your character will be able to be less effective when running around, get oxygen into their blood slower. That's the sort of idea there. Could you potentially die if you don't eat or drink for a long time in Star Citizen? Potentially. Unconfirmed. It might just be lots of debuffs. However, I would expect you would eat eventually. It's not going to be like you die within 2 days and not eating. It would be like weeks and weeks, or at least a week or something. So plenty of chances and opportunities. However, and hygiene's tracked as well. I would like it when I'm logged off for my player to potentially feed, clothe, sleep, wash while I'm offline. That makes sense, right? If I've got the resources on my ship for them to be able to do that, they should do that. I like that idea. I'd like that in game.
So,
otherwise, it would be like, oh,
question from the chat.
Board's logged off for 2 days because he was on holiday. He's still sleeping in his bed 2 days later. What?
Oh,
just eyeball it.
There are things you can eyeball.
What did you think about what Bethesda did this week? Fallout. So I only know what Bethesda did with having the $100 or $99 or whatever it was. Fallout First.
Yeah, when you're playing
subscription.
With, like, huge stacks of different things,
I was actually, I didn't dislike Fallout 76.
so
Me and Zin and Kit but
Things like
all played it,
consoles
and we had
that
little
players
adventures, and we
and
ran
NPCs
around, and we had
interact
fun.
with, things like
It's not as
tables,
great as
chairs,
a
where,
proper single
you
player
know, you're
Fallout,
dealing with
but it was a
animation and stuff.
bit of a
It's very
laugh
important
and
that
a bit of
they're
fun.
kind of
I'm not really sure what the fuck
well-defined metric.
Bethesda are trying to do with it. It seems
Things
weird
like
to
drinks,
to
we
bleed money
try
out of
and
people.
unify things like
It seems
the
odd.
the dimensions
And
for
they're
like
not in touch with their
bottlenecks,
community at all. And I think a lot of
or,
AAA
you
publishers
know,
and
radius,
game developers aren't now.
stuff like that. Really, it just makes we have got a more kind of flexible grip system now. So it's a lot like, say for instance, I got my little Big Benny's box here.
Sorry, Reindeer Games is what I call our
I've got my
orgs
little
organised
Big Benny
gameplay.
box
You should
here.
join us this Saturday, Sunday AM for you,
The new grip
Aurora
system we have
Republic.
allows me to
If I'm around Ted,
width,
and I'm not
for that
inebriated,
asset.
because
Higher.
I've got a
Wow, higher again.
No, I'm just messing.
Halloween
Oh,
party
okay.
I'm considering going to,
So
which I'll show you the mask I've got, which I've had for
maybe
years.
lose my train
I've
of
got
thought. So yeah, the grip sizes now are a little bit more flexible. So yeah, there are metrics. They do exist. We try our best to obey them. Alrighty, Noodles. Oh, I'm so silly. I need to save this out in the correct place, actually.
Got a thing about pigs. Yeah, if you're scared of pigs, I'd probably look away.
Do you control S to save?
So, well, not now, in
at
a
least
second
every
when I put the
5
mask up.
minutes.
So
Sorry,
got,
at least every
got
5
this
seconds.
t-shirt, which is like
This was a question.
a pig,
I also
big
have my
face and
auto-save
bacon,
feature
skull and
set to,
crossbones,
like,
big
every
face and
2.5
bacon.
minutes, so we're safe, don't worry.
Bam.
Those noodles look kind of weird, don't they?
And then I've got a pig mask, which I got from Rubber Gorilla many
I
years
think they're
ago.
probably
which
a
is
little chunkier.
a pretty
The-
cool
the-
mask.
the
I like udon
original-
noodles.
Yeah, the original
cool.
graphic had
Luckily, it's
5.
feels
I
good.
think, 5 that were
Yeah.
thinner.
Might
and
spray it with
3
water or
were thicker.
something to give it a bit of oil, give it a bit of
I
more of a
was thinking
sheen.
as well, maybe we could
But
do
it is
kind
a
of
very
that
scary,
might-
good-looking mask, and I like it.
like that kind of style.
It fits on my
Maybe
giant
rotate them a little
beluga whale.
bit. If I do this, I can add a
I
quad-
mean, I find it hard to get hats
some
or masks.
edges. Ooh,
Uh,
that looks kind of cool.
Now they're arguing about.
oh,
which
thanks,
noodles
Bud.
are
Have a couple of Thanks,
I
Bud.
don't wanna
Have a
get
couple of
involved
bucks.
in your
Oh,
argument,
thank you very
but
much,
if
Shite.
I had
I
to-
appreciate your couple of bucks. CitizenCon this year,
Not that you
they
have
only
to,
have one tier of
Yeah.
tickets. Lesson learned from last year, or just prep for a smaller audience than the US.
and just
good
like
question.
general egg noodles, you know, like the slightly thicker ones. Are pretty
I'd
good.
expect.
Spaghetti a noodle?
I don't know actually. I'd expect it's because they lessons learned.
What
Like,
you're saying right now.
no one likes elitism
The spaghetti's not considered.
to that sort of extent.
I wouldn't think so.
So
I will confess
hopefully
it's
lessons
not
learned. It
really
is a
whole
smaller
lot
venue though,
the-
I suppose as well.
The differential between.
I'm
spaghetti and
I'm
noodles.
upset that they have an official
obvious.
bar
That's
system which
evidence for
they're
my
charging for, but I suppose there is limited
I mean,
capacity
you can get pasta
in the
made out
impossible
of
venue. So
the same. You can get like egg pasta, right?
thank you so much for
Yeah.
the,
In terms
the
of
number
what
of the
it's made out of.
beast amount of donation.
I'm not
Appreciate
an
it.
expert either.
Love your
That's
face.
Weird, isn't it?
Thanks, Brimstone.
Material. I forgot to update the material.
Girl from
And
Scale
like
from
that,
one
I
Retribution
idea
Super
should
Dreadnought.
be a bike.
How excited are you for
There you go.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
scale from 1 to Super Super
Ah,
Dreadnought? How excited are you
Yeah.
for
They look less
bridging
kind of
a-
creepy, I think.
bridging
Yeah,
ground
well,
and
the
air combat?
original image,
Titan
the
suit
noodles
release and
were
gameplay.
rather
Oh,
square.
Titan suits
Yeah,
are one of the
because
most
it's
things
2D,
I'm most
yeah.
excited for.
My
Um,
mind kind of interprets
by
those
far.
as being kind of.
Thank you,
like, do get,
Kevin
like,
Cheese.
look at, like, pot noodles
Thanks,
noodles.
Kevin.
Well, maybe not
Just
pot
message me
noodles,
loads
but
on
like those kind of noodles. They are
on email.
kind of square.
I'll have a look at your emails
So
in
we're
a
just
bit,
gonna
bud.
fill the bowl. I'm trying to think of the easiest way of filling a bowl, and I think
I've specifically I put the volume low
sphere
specifically.
in the
I can put it up a little tiny bit, but I wanted it more background soundy
this.
because I wanted to
And
do
we're
my
just
own
gonna
thing.
draw
Bam.
on that sphere if I can remember how.
I legitimately, like, I think I know how pasta is made. I don't actually know how noodles are made.
Thanks for egg.
I'm
yeah.
sorry I even mentioned watching it together. I thought he was
Okay, you
joking
don't
about the
just
noodle
take
episode.
it.
No,
I
I
don't
was
know
not.
how it becomes a noodle.
What, my puccini mushrooms?
I
Well,
mean,
the
I'm
puccini
getting
mushrooms are not for
sidetracked,
sale,
which
my
is-
friend.
Do you extrude it
Puccini
so
mushrooms
great, or
are my
do you,
parents'
I
food that
honestly
they've been
don't know.
making.
I've never.
They're both over 70 now,
I've
mate.
never witnessed noodles being
I'm not going
made.
to take a 70-year-old's
I've never
food away.
bothered to look into it.
Yeah.
Got a pretty good handle on pasta, not on noodles though.
Oh, that's why it's not working. Hello. There you go.
Bored, I know
Let's go,
that this
and
is
we're
a
just
Star
gonna-
Citizen dream.
I'm just going to do this really quick. We're just going to draw a bunch of splines on this object.
But you excited for Mountain
Okay,
Blade 2 next year? Yeah, Battlelord looks cool. Cameron,
Okay,
who I'm very
this
good
is
friends
the
with,
Earth.
who played like 7 Days to
Wow.
Die with and stuff.
Okay,
That's
He
a pretty sweet
loves
He's got like
Mountain Blade, and Mountain
a
Blade 2
long
is
string
super
of noodles
exciting
like
for him.
that, yeah.
So,
Alright.
Mountain
now
Weight
we can
Neverlord.
We can hide this guy
Nice.
here.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll be playing it definitely. Probably playing it
Let's
with
see what
Cameron
we
if I
do.
can. We can play it multiplayer to
This might look
a
really
fun
terrible,
extent.
I'm sorry if it does. But... Oh, it's absolutely massive as well.
My question is, do we really need noodle
we go,
balls in
Jared,
such a
break
game?
it
We
down.
don't need them, but them making
We're
props
gonna
and stuff
bring
is
him
all good. They can make
It
silly
looks kinda
props
like,
constantly, make flair and stuff
a really
constantly.
bad
It's all good.
comb over,
As long as
but,
it's a small team that
just
doing
copy
that
that.
constantly, it's all good.
Parameters there and pop them on.
No, it's true because you're making it in 3D.
Yeah.
You gotta fill the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think what I might do is just kind of. This looks really stupid right now, but. We're gonna go
Santok
for
Yai
this
when?
view here. This view is going to be our.
So obviously we have the Kotoal.
agree with
I
you.
don't have time to make a
Santok
whole lot of
Yai
noodles,
isn't
okay, so we're
a
just
huge
gonna
evolution of
do it
that,
kinda-
but it is an
just do
alien
what I do and
ship.
go to the
I
store.
don't know.
Ugh, yeah.
If it's needed for Squadron
I'm
42
actually really hungry.
next year, if not, then
Material,
end of next year at the
MAT.
earliest if you're lucky.
You know, time has slowed
Yeah.
down for me now. I looked at the clock and I was like, it's 20 past. Oh my goodness, how am I?
Food creation is boring. I know. I
thought.
thought some people would
Because you're
find this
having more
boring.
fun at
Some of the
game
game stuff is
I'm still
interesting.
having a lot of
Some
fun.
of it's partly interesting.
I do.
For me, this sort of stuff, I'd probably watch while I'm doing other work, just because there
No,
are
I
pick up
giggled
some
at
cool things. I do
Rogues'
like to see
noodles
this
are
sort of
made
stuff
by going to the
occasionally,
store and buying
but it's
I giggled
from
at
my
his joke and then I took it
news
as
point
my
of view and information about
Yeah,
Star Citizen,
best way.
not as useful.
All right.
um,
own. It's my show.
We haven't done the mouth yet. I totally forgot about the mouth and the little blushy eyes. All right. These noodles look more like French fries at the moment, but we will pretend they're placeholder noodles. I will do a better job when I'm not under extreme pressure. Here we go. Let's have a look at those. Yeah, from that angle they kind of look
The
better.
best thing about the subscription for Fallout 76 is it literally failed
Across a bit.
day one and everyone lost their stuff. Oh yeah, they lost their storage, didn't they? And all the items were deleted.
Where was it?
That makes
Yes,
me feel
Gabriel,
so
Wolf.
uncomfortable. I
You
haven't
figured
played
this out, we're
Fallout
actually
76 for
making
ages,
the
but
thing that
I
leads
wouldn't want
over
to use any of my
to
stuff
caves.
for it. So I'll probably get back to it at some point.
Yeah.
When like Sin
I
and Kit
saw
are bored
it,
with
on
every other
Reddit,
game that we've got.
something very spooky in the
Because we
cave.
play like Apex
Don't know if
Legends
you
in the
know anything about
evening,
that.
and we've been playing some of the Infectious Madness of Dr.
What,
Decker.
your obsession
I'm
with
planning
Saber?
to. Okay, so when I'm streaming
That
throughout the
wasn't me
week,
personally. I can only
some of the
credit
games that we'll probably play
the person who did
occasionally
that.
beyond
I don't
Star
know
Citizen,
who-
because it's going to be a
whoever it
huge
was,
amount of Star
was
Citizen.
I have a feeling
It's
one
going to
of
be
the
card
guys on
games
the Environment
like
team.
But
the
you just said I
Heroes
can
of
credit the person who did it, and then you said I
Rune
don't
Terror,
know who it is.
whatever the
You
League of
can't
Legends
in
one
fact
is, the
credit
Rune
the
Terror one.
person.
Jared, you remember at the start of the show when I said
Heroes of Rune Terror,
Your
Rune
brain
Terror
is good?
Legends,
yeah,
Legends
when
of
I
Rune
said my
Terror.
brain is good.
Brain is
I
good.
quite like
no,
that
my brain is more good.
that card game.
More good.
My
We'll
brain is
also
more
almost
good in
certainly
the morning,
play
that's what I said.
Artifact when it's
So,
re-released. Because
yeah,
I liked
I'm just
Artifact.
saying,
I know a lot of people didn't, but I did.
my brain is less
I
good.
like card games, being able to chat to people while playing,
Well, yeah.
and I'm good at card games, and I can explain what I'm doing, and it's like I do slightly
I'm
odder
just trying
things
to
than
get that.
than
Yeah,
other
that'll look good.
people do with card games.
Also,
do
I know
silly
they're
things.
intersecting each other here. That bothers me as well, but please, for the sake of brevity, ignore it.
Now they're talking
You have a
about
preferred
the
platform
history of Fox
for
Internet
viewers to
and the
participate in a stream.
existence.
Whatever is comfortable for
Is
you.
that right?
YouTube, Twitch, whatever. It doesn't
That's
doesn't
our
really
chat.
matter.
Yeah. I don't
If you
actually
wanna
know that much about the history.
Watch
of
on
pasta, so if you have
one
any,
platform and chat on
any
another. That's
interesting
all good
pasta
as well.
facts.
No, but this isn't a show about pasta. It's a show about noodles.
Okay. If you have any noodle, in fact, yeah, we don't care about pasta. This is about noodles. If you have any interesting noodle facts,
But I prefer pasta.
Do you think we're-
though.
yeah,
Do you think
personally?
gonna be a permanent line of front battle
it's a tough one.
in the PU with
I
some
don't think
super
it's fair to
battle
make
ship
someone pick.
Idris
I just, like,
Bengal javelin
but,
against
Buca
Vandal?
de Beppo,
We're gonna have to
skip
support as a
chips,
player in the
potato.
persistent universe. I think there'll be missions like that.
Play,
Yeah, I think there'll be
franchise.
missions and incursions and fights that you'll
Escape.
discover along the
Buca de
way.
Beppo.
Do you think they're?
Buca
Do
de
you
Beppo.
Buca de Beppo.
Oh no,
Buca
we
de
just talked about that.
Beppo.
That's
I'm not gonna
literally
do
the same.
that. Okay.
No, but if you wanna
Upgrade
send me a
to
t-shirt,
i9 at
you know where.
9900KS,
Hit us up.
or wait for i10 next year.
I'm gonna get
What is your
email
thoughts?
toast after
At
this.
least wait until
Did you reference a restaurant
mid-November to see what the
during the show?
Ryzen
Yeah.
chips are
Is
doing,
that allowed?
and seeing if
And
the
then did you solicit
Intel
them
respond
for
with
clothing?
price drops on their chips, because you've got the Ryzen and the Threadrippers and all that sort of
shouldn't be
shit
a problem,
coming out
should it?
within a month
Find
now.
out.
And
Well,
the
I
i10,
personally
some of the
don't think
i10s coming out this year in November as well.
We've got something in here that's.
So my thoughts are, wait at least until November, see if any
It's 'cause you
price
haven't
drops,
given
and
it
see
a
what the
mouth.
market's going to do.
Yeah. Hang on.
Big Benny's is angry at you.
Shape 002. I think I've got an empty shape.
So
Oh,
the
this
idea
I
is
know where
that
this is.
Yeah,
November,
basically
I'm going to
all
compare
30, so
the
it was throwing a wobbly at me. There you go.
what
Now
we've got with the
noodles again.
Ryzen
We're getting
3950X
somewhere.
and the Threadrippers that are coming out,
I kinda
and
want-
the
kinda
i10
wanna
series
make it,
stuff,
like, dance,
and see
side
what's
to side,
most appropriate for my needs, and then buy that.
or something.
Thank you for all the
That'd be
great
cool.
content.
Do you have a hard poly?
Oh, KS KSD Racing.
That is a
KS
very good
Drance
question.
Draken. KS Drancing.
So
Thanks
Don't
thanks
it
for
play
the
me,
resub, appreciate it. I'm
our
sure one of
flight
those was your name.
is a little bit different from some other games where we use you probably heard it spoken
So,
about the custom
so
build
anything else
pipeline.
people wanted to talk
Essentially,
about
our
specifically?
objects are
Obviously, we've got
we don't actually
3.7.1
bake a normal
hotfix patch
for every
that's going to
single
reset everyone's account.
object.
That could come out
normal
today,
map is like a
and then
transfer
if
details
that
from
is going to come out today, I would expect to see a
a piece of
3.7.2 patch
geometry with
within the next couple
a
of
high
weeks.
triangle counter with a lower triangle. We just use bent normal
CitizenCon stuff.
edges
We've had the
and
CitizenCon schedule actually come through,
that's
so
amazing.
we can talk
So
about
we
this
kind
as well.
of
I've done a
have
video on it,
triangle
but
counter
it's probably worth chatting
what
about.
games typically do because of that, but it also means that our texture, we have kind of less of a texture.
CitizenCon.
So our triangle counts are, yeah, I would say for an asset like this, take the hot dog for instance. Let's have a look at that guy actually. I'll tell you how many triangles it is. It is 1,300 triangles. Which
We
is,
have everything
I'd say for an
starting
asset
1
like this,
p.m.
This guy's probably coming in
UTC
way higher
British
at the
time.
moment because we're just that's just a little debug. He's not very happy at the moment. But
We've got
this guy's
keynote
like
from Chris
20,
Roberts for half an hour, which will probably expose some of the new ships and stuff.
Which is
Then we've got a load of cool stuff happening
very high.
during the day, and then from 8 p.m.
I'd probably
onwards,
say I'd be happy
we have
with, like,
a keynote presentation for an hour and a half that you won't want to miss, is what they said.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
a
will
lot
have
of
the, like,
carbs,
the
actually. This
gameplay
guy's
updates
very
and the
carb-heavy.
cool stuff in there.
So this is our little
But
mouth.
throughout the day,
I'm just going to go into something like that.
we'll have
We'll fill in the details later.
interesting and cool little panels and things going on.
Sorry, I don't know if that was a good answer, but
I'm
yeah.
excited about some of them.
Triangle
Terra Firma,
counts.
exploring
We
the continuing
try
evolution
to
of planet tech.
set
So
ourselves
Terra,
limits.
is obviously a
However,
system and a planet
we try and think
in
about
the
assets.
game.
We try and think about an asset relative to
Lawmaker's Guide to the
the
Galaxy,
player's
Shoot 'em Up,
genre, rather
a
than the
new
actual size of the
high-octane
object.
game mode
So,
coming to Star Citizen.
we
I don't
may
actually know
have
what that
an
could be.
object like, I don't know,
Some
like
people
this
have said
big
Battle
Bengal
Royale,
box
some people have
that
said
someone picks up and it's in their
Water
face.
Crew ships
That
in
someone picks
Arena
up and puts in
Commander.
their face.
Some people have said
We
combined
kind of wanna
arms
put
on
as much
planets.
detail as that
There could be lots and lots and lots.
in
It
as
could
we
be the
can
Enders
relative
game
to how close it is
mode.
to the camera, right? So
Satable.
we'll actually kind of put quite a lot of detail into those.
There's a special thing
Whereas
for
in a lot of video
attendees
games, you see the
there
props,
for an
and they're
hour.
like, oh, we can only make
There's
this
a
like
cosplay
10 triangles,
competition.
so it has to look.
There's Tony Zerovic talking about the back-end
it's
tools
sad.
We
that
also
allow them to edit your
utilize
universe.
things like
That's something that you
object
probably don't want to
streaming
miss.
and-
That's at
and
7
calling
p.m.
and stuff like that. So it allows
Event
us to
continues,
have
which is the
allows us to
main
have
keynote.
higher poly.
On the second
higher
stage,
fidelity
there's
items.
Linguistics and You, which they're talking about
because we're
how
much
alien
more-
languages
we're
are
much better
crafted.
about
It's
getting
got
it
Brenton
out of
Watkins there
memory
as well,
when
who
we don't
makes
need it.
who helped make Klingon, I believe.
Well,
Ship sounds,
getting
looking
it
at
anyway.
ship
Yeah.
sounds in the game,
The
how they
server
make
side
them. Locked up,
container
some
stuff.
early
We've already got it.
insight
Client
into
side.
prisons in the verse
Bunch of that.
and life on the inside.
I'm just going to
That's,
leave the mouth.
Luke Presley heading that one as well, so
let's have a look
Luke
at
Presley
that guy.
is a great chap
It's
to
gonna
learn
look like
information
that.
from.
It's gonna
Me,
look a bit-
myself, and
it's gonna
UI
look a bit
follow
weird,
the
so
entire
we'll do
process
that.
of turning a written design
Prop,
into a playable
really.
feature, armor archetypes, everything you ever wanted to know about
540.
staying protected in
Oh
the
dear.
verse,
Okay.
and ship talk.
20 minutes.
Learn about new ships of CitizenCon
fine,
and
yeah,
help
fun.
the design team design a future vessel.
doing
I would expect that not to be like fully design
This
it,
is
but
fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
go
Is
on the
everyone having
directions
fun?
and the name and
Please
what
don't
sort
tell me you're having feelings.
mechanics it touches. Yeah, so I'm excited about the
I
CitizenCon
see a lot of
schedule
yeses.
that we have it now.
I can't really see that one, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
Question: would you want a gunship module for the 600i? I mean, I'd want the abilities for it to be. I would be okay with having a gunship module. Yeah, so it would effectively be a Q ship.
Oh,
I'm fine with like the Caterpillar and other ships as well, having those sort of modules
how
that
does
like.
our holographic
Oh
version-
no, pirates! We're actually anti-pirates. Lol 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 lol.
Bit of clip in there. 'cause
So
we've
the
got
Nord
the
situation, I'll go over
effect,
very briefly
we
again
want
now.
the-
I shell for NordVPN.
it got a bit of a-
Basically, they had a data breach in March of
I
last
might
year.
actually- I don't know whether they cut
Which
them
they didn't
out.
announce
Might
until
just
now.
cut them out
It looks like it was the
from
data breach that was handled and
rather
didn't
than
have any
having
terrible side effects or
to
anything.
be honest.
But they didn't really talk about it
Maybe
until
we
Ars
can,
Technica,
bit
I believe,
geometry
revealed
to
that
go
they had a
around.
data breach then. And lots of other companies had data breaches and stuff. Data breaches happen. It's the fact that NordVPN didn't disclose that to the public until now.
So we can,
And they said but we didn't want to disclose it until
Try a bit
you know
of modifier.
it
Sometimes
was
behaves.
fully handled and we knew the full extent and you know
Changed up
I was like,
to
okay, well that was handled poorly by them, but
Nope, that's the wrong way.
it's less likely they'll have data breaches now that they're super aware
That's what we want.
of what happened,
It's always hard
and
to
I still
reason.
use them. So
in my
I think
mind
as long as people
what
can make an
access I
informed
need to
decision
do.
about that and they're aware
It's
that
kind
NordVPN
That'll
had a
do,
data
yeah.
breach, and they handled
the
the
mouth. Yeah, that's the problem. My mouth is like
the
just
transparency
a
of
black void at
what
the
actually
moment, so we
happened.
kinda wanna
They didn't actually. They weren't transparent at
color
all. They
to it.
hid it effectively
Pink.
until to date.
So we're
as
using
people are aware
the
of that, I
colours
think
we
that's fine.
convert at the moment to do the colours.
So
it's all using
I'll
one
put
sort
a
of material
I'll
to
do something. I'll put
color
something
it.
under my links, or I'll
Each
address
paint
it in
will store a colour,
an
as a,
update video or something.
you know, RGB value, and that way it's a lot cheaper.
But that was the
to
Nord
get more
situation. I was
colours,
trying to work out,
materials.
double check to make sure people wouldn't be
That way
annoyed if I continue to
it's
support them,
nice.
because I like Nord as a service. I still use Nord as a service.
Oh yeah, that's looking a bit better, isn't it? The eyes are still.
Oh, we gotta add the. You gotta add the
Oh, the little
pupil.
cheeks.
The pupil.
Yeah,
You
and
gotta-
the,
you need the cheeks. You need the
and the
pupil.
sparkles. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now for the cheeks. Again, I think I might just do a floaty piece of geometry. So
I haven't
why don't we
seen
start with a
Green
sphere and then
Swarm
we'll
properly
discuss some
since
shit.
Eve.
Not a sphere, sorry.
I know they're still active. So thanks for your answer.
And I will
Love your
see.
video, by the way. Do you think going to be a Star Citizen Live on YouTube today?
So,
This
yeah.
is Star Citizen Live on the background.
What is your favorite?
I would expect it to be
flavor of Big
on
Benny's?
YouTube later
You have
today.
to
Yes,
look at the old
this is currently live
intergalactic food
on the
delivery
Twitch.
Yeah.
webpage.
I don't actually know the flavors.
Anyone know what the ship of the month of November will
brought
be?
them up on that page.
No, I don't.
So you,
I'll probably-
you can check the intergalactic.
Not sure if it's actually been
food
announced
delivery
yet.
Page. There's even a menu, if I remember correctly.
That's great. Is that cheek? That's too big, isn't it?
Can personal
Try
weapons
that
hurt
now.
ships? Yes, they will be able to.
If someone wants to find
Because
the
it's going to be
link
physicalized
the
damage
intergalactic
system, so
food
you'll be able to
delivery,
shoot
drop it in the
literally a
chat.
component at hand to hand.
I did do the
at point blank and damage
I did
it.
the pips flavors.
I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you'll be
I
able to
came up with
pierce through the internal hull to the
like pip
exterior
stealth.
with a gun, with
I
a
don't know why we
personal
made pip
weapon.
stealth, I just
But
thought
you
it
should be able to
sounded cool.
damage the internal
Pip
components
stealth
with a
is a
personal
good
weapon,
flavor.
yes.
You won't see the calories, but they're there.
Exactly. It's like.
Do you
it's
think
like the
we are
diet
likely to see a
version
return of
of-
refined and acceptable
you know
ESP
you're getting,
in the future? I
Ah,
hope so.
that's not
They
sure,
need to
because
get ESP working well.
we'll just move around. Bloop.
We need to have a balance between auto, manual, and fixed weapon combat. We need ESP to be in a good place. We need ship combat
Whoops.
to reward
Done something
people
silly,
that
like
want to
not put
use
the material
fixed
on.
weapons really, really well and manual gimbals really, really well over
Material ID number 2.
just manual gimbals and then auto gimbals
go.
just dominating. You know what I
A
mean?
little thing that keeps popping up.
There needs
is
to be a lot of
because
balance
the
there.
bowl needs some tidying up, but I'm just trying to get this in there. That's so.
Like, I think Eve caters for a lot of different
Well,
organisations, and
luck,
if
maybe.
Goonswarm caters for Goonswarm, it's all good.
Yeah, we'll also do something where we kind of blend at the moment the normals, which is the direction of each face. They're not matching up.
I'm
That'll
not
give you that
ex-Goonswarm.
weird lighting. What we'll do
I
is
have
kind of
participated in events
Server
and
Ven says,
ops and
yeah,
stuff
it's
where
only
they have
3
also
GPU
been
used
there.
for production. No, we use
The
whatever
big
tools
part of
the
Eve,
artists
come on.
need to do the job. Like just speaking for the character team alone, sometimes things are modeled in Modo.
Why can't they
sometimes
live
in
stream
Max,
making
sometimes
server-side
they're
object container
modeled
streaming?
in,
Oh man,
and
just
sometimes they
just
use, things like
on.
Marvelous
They
Designer.
should just have a 24/7
Yeah,
camera
lots
just
of
locked
Yeah.
onto the
It's
people that are
it's
making
about finding the
server-side
right
object
tools
container
to do the
streaming,
job.
so we know we can get it done.
We use Maya a lot for a
Maya?
lot of the animated assets, just because the animation tools in Maya
Man.
are a bit more suited to that side of things. We use packages like
I think there's going to be a lot of
Design
interesting
for raw
orgs which
materials. But in terms of
will
3D,
attempt
our
to
primary
dominate
3D
Star Citizen in different ways.
for like
There's
just
obviously like Test,
polygon
which is,
modeling
well, you know,
like this is
I mean,
VS Max.
I suppose
Mine,
related to
just using
Goonswarm,
animation stuff as well.
in some
There you go,
way,
he's looking
at the
very
very
happy.
least.
I feel like the lighting in here isn't doing him any favors. It's a bit.
And
dark.
yeah, there's going to be some orgs that dominate in certain areas of the game, definitely.
There you go. Just line 'em up a
You
bit.
can ask questions here if you wish. Yes.
Come here. There you go.
You're not allowed to leave till this is finished. We are
Put it off to
watching.
the side.
I kind of got
And that
that.
also kind of helps his eyes look a little bit, doesn't it?
We can chat.
Well,
It's
it
all
makes
good.
you want to see the actual.
Chat while this stuff's going on.
finish up the eyes, the pupil.
Yeah, I think I might just take care of those. So, again, I'm just gonna probably at the moment use floaty circle geo. I'd probably do it with a texture if I was, if I wanted to save on my polygon budget. But yeah, since we're just kind of doing a bit of mucking about for funsies, I'll just use this for now.
What tools?
The noodle
do
bowl
I
and that
need
lighting
to
is
do my
terrifying
job?
indeed. A lot bigger than I expected as well.
You can't call this tools, Jared. That's not very nice.
Everything that's useful is a tool in one way, shape, or form. But No, my job
Anything
relies
else?
entirely on people.
So,
relationships.
I'm going
And
to
you
CitizenCon the
guys.
day before CitizenCon, so the 22nd of November. I'm planning to have a rallying point where anyone else is more than welcome to meet. I'll see if we can get a private room there as well,
So
so
if we
that
do, like,
content
little
creators or
mini-meals, like
people that want
this
to
is
chill
coming
can
up.
have an area to do that. As like a quiet room for recording
Yeah.
or chatting
We'll do something.
or whatever.
That's just.
But it's going to be
I
next to
can't
the
do anything
Star
without
Citizen
the
official
participation of
Bar
our
Citizen
developers.
venue that's going to be open in the evening, or the ticketed venue. The ticketed
It's
event's
like,
going to be in the evening.
you know,
This is during the
without
day,
them,
and then they'll
ISC
set
would
these up
basically
as
be me just standing
you
up
know,
there every
overflow areas as well.
reading a news report, stuff like that.
If anyone's around on the
pretty
22nd of November, feel free to come say hi.
Plus, it's too much me.
I'll
Too much
have your
you.
chat, talk, drink,
Is there such a thing?
chill. I haven't got any major plans beyond
Talk to my mom
talking to
there.
people, recording some stuff if people want to be recorded.
She still
If
never
you've got some
watched
hot
a
takes and
single
stuff,
episode
cool.
of
If you
anything.
want to chat to me
I
about
asked her
whatever,
once if she
you
was
wanna
ever gonna watch
potentially rub my
HOTFIX or
lovely
anything
shiny
else,
head,
she goes,
please ask for permission before you do such a thing.
Because I had to watch you for
Some
18
people come
years,
up
I
to me
know-
from
I know
behind
what you do.
and touch me. I'm
Oh,
likely
yeah.
to erratically react, but either like, oh, or So, just bear that in mind.
We could do like a
Um,
patch. That might be kind of fun. I would like.
Will we
do
be able to
themes
survive
for
ships
this.
getting
It would be
destroyed
spooky.
and able to escape their broken
Probably
hulls
don't
and
have time
corridors?
tonight to do a spooky one.
So, the idea is that
Oh,
ships
I forgot
aren't
to,
destroyed, like explode most of the time. So sometimes they will, sometimes they'll be broken
For
up,
some,
sometimes bits of them will get sheared off,
lack of
whatever.
materials
The idea
are
is that
awful.
we're going to have no more health pools of
I don't
ships, but
understand
individual
that.
components
That's right.
will have health pools.
Oh jeez, now I feel really.
Or they get damaged and degraded, and that will disable ships. And then if ships are getting lots of damage, like their power and oxygen systems, the life support's basically going offline,
Cool.
you all want to go to the
Yeah.
escape pods and escape.
It's the you need the under.
But
Yeah,
some
the
could,
blue bit,
explosions
that's
could
gonna be a pain.
result in a
What we
capital
could
power
do,
plant exploding or
I
something
think
like that.
I would
Yes.
probably make these kind of bits like floaty bits of texture, and then we could get like a nice gradient on it. It's going to be hard to do that with geometry, but we can give it a quick go.
How likely is it that we're going to get persistence between alpha patches starting in 3.8?
Again,
It's possible
yeah,
that we
maybe
could
look at
get
these triangle
persistence
being a bit
for
disturbed.
alpha
This
UEC
is
and
just
ships
where
in 3.8. That is not a confirmation.
Yeah.
kind of
That's just
figuring stuff
something I
out.
want and I hope for.
Optimization tends to
possible.
happen in the latter part of a.
Today is the jump point with server-side logic container streaming stuff. Yes, I think it is. I will do a summary of that on the weekend.
Super mega conscious of
Good idea.
You know, budgets.
Oh, Jarnator asking. Yeah, don't worry. Wait, don't worry, Corey. Jared is just old.
I used to love what Eve used to be. Not so much.
Thank you, Tom.
I like the random attacks that happened recently,
Fond of
but
saying
I
it's
like
not
what
the
Eve
year,
used to
it's the
be
mileage.
with scaling small
You've done a lot
to
of miles
large
recently though,
fleet
right?
battles. Now it seems to
I
be
may
more
only
geared
be in my
towards
40s, but I feel
larger
like
fleet
I'm in my
battles like
60s.
constantly, and I
That's
liked
what
the
happened.
smaller scale stuff as well, which seems to happen less. Bored, what would happen if noodle making gets interdicted?
That's
Um,
corners here.
But to answer your question,
I missed what you
Jarnator,
said about the future of
uh,
REC. So,
ATVs
REC
are filmed
wise, which is the
pretty
current
well in
REC is the
advance.
currency for Star Marine and Arena
It takes
Commander.
a while, you know,
That's
you
going to be
build
used
things
just
in
for
advance,
Star
and
Marine
then
and Arena
write
Commander.
editorial
Okay, and each
and
individual
grounds for
game mode,
approvals
Star Marine and
collections of
Arena
B-roll
Commander,
and stuff
have
like that. So
a REC, and you buy
no.
weapons in there.
it's a
Cool.
to answer your
And that's
question
for
about whether I'll
just
be
those
doing
modes.
them from here or there.
UEC.
It'll be a mix.
Alpha UEC are the currencies for
things
the main
I'll be here.
Resistant
and
Universe
some
game.
things
At the moment, we
I'll
use
still
Alpha
be
UEC.
there.
They want
And
to
it's
make
just
Alpha
lead
UEC
time
and
that
Alpha
is
UEC
involved in it.
purchases. So stuff,
I know
the money
it's-
that you make directly in game
it's-
now,
there's a
they want to make
mildly
that persist
amusing
between
perception
patches in the
sometimes
near
that
future. We don't know when
that
that's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be from 3.8
ATVs are, like,
onwards.
made
We know that 3.7.1
sometimes in the day
hotfix
or
patch
the
that's
day
currently on the
before they
PTU
come out.
is going to be resetting everything.
I see that in
Just bear that in
comments.
mind.
Sometimes like, oh, I said something on Tuesday and it was
UEC is
reflected in ATV on
the
Thursday.
real
Like, oh,
currency
no,
that
that
once they
absolutely can
have
for
full persistence
quite a
online
while.
permanently with no more resets planned ever,
But
that
these things-
definitely
they'll
these
move
things
on
take a
from
lot of
Alpha
time.
UEC to
These
UEC.
things, we're doing it live though, baby.
Yeah, SCL on the other hand.
Yeah. Oh boy.
SCL happens live.
Yeah.
Isn't everything in this game pay to
The
win or
last
per
time I
million
was
hours
here
in?
with the paintings one, oof,
We haven't seen the balance
wasn't
yet.
very
They need
happy
to make it so
with
there's a
the
balance
outcome of
between
my painting life,
you
unfortunately.
work a bit,
But
you make
as we
money.
said at the
Some of
time,
that's going to
that
be
is
group
the,
effort and an org effort
that
to
is
get
the
these big
nature
ships.
of art.
Are there elements of the
You
game that's pay to
don't
win? Yes,
have
100%.
yet.
You get an advantage by putting money in now.
You just have to try.
Can't dispute that.
There you go.
A million
That's more
hours
like
would
it,
not be
right?
appropriate
I
to
mean,
get
the
the
shape's
ships
kinda
either,
weird.
so they need to
Yeah.
And in
balance
fact,
that.
he's
And
kind of the thing that I don't
because of
think
the way
does translate
that
well to
the
3D
game's
is the
developed
fact that
and
his
funded,
eyes go in
I
separate
think that we've
directions,
got a
so he looks
very,
kind
very,
of
very good chance
little
of making sure that the
bit,
game,
Yeah.
even though it has pay to win elements,
Need
is
the-
going to be a
the-
very
the
good
teeth
game
and the tongue.
and have the
when you
correct
get the teeth and
balance
tongue, I think
so that
that's
people
when
that
it's
do
really
buy
good.
ships or have bought ships
Yeah,
don't have
we
this
will,
massive unbreakable advantage.
iterate on that.
Also, the other thing is that you can just rent those
But
ships and go,
that's the kind
well, I'll
of-
rent that ship for a day,
It
and
looks
then
kinda
leverage
like
the money I
Bengal.
make to rent that ship for a week, and leverage the amount of money I make to rent that ship for
Yeah,
a
what
year.
can we do now?
or
Yeah, we'll
a
get the
month.
teeth and the tongue in, shall we? Again, we're just kind of.
And I will be showing this in some videos in the not too distant future. What percentage of backers are chairman club members? Don't know, but I'll try and find out. I want a breakdown of stuff like that. I'd like
Especially
that.
when you're just experimenting like this.
I would expect like
So I'm just gonna make
0.2% sort of thing. It'd be quite a small fraction.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Probably not a minuscule fraction though. Star Citizen doesn't cater towards very young people and under 18s or anything. It caters for more 24 to 35-year-olds or 25 to 45-year-olds with large disposable incomes. So, how have you been lately, man? Physically and mentally? Mentally, pretty fucking good. I'm very driven. I'm very happy. Any of my mania has been easily sort of like
Well,
curtailed. I've started going to do board games once a week with some other friends, which are nearby, which has got me out of the house a little bit more, which is good. And I'm doing well. I'm eating a lot better. Physically, I haven't been doing as much exercise, but I'll start doing that again. I've just been busy. I'm eating a lot better. I'm eating salads. I'm eating good meat.
but you just don't know with these kind of things, do you?
I cook 99% of my own food rather than ready. Well, 80% of my food rather than ready meals or anything else like that. Although ready meals aren't innately bad or anything, so bear that in mind. It's just I used to be a chef, so might as well cook. I enjoy cooking. I've been cooking a bit more than normal.
I think that
Yeah,
when you
planning
have your
Christmas
noodle
for
stands
my parents.
in
and my family.
view, I don't
I
necessarily
will be
think
doing
they've all
Christmas
got
this year
5
for them.
star hygiene rating, so, you
Yeah, I
know,
got like 50,000
they may
rec.
not be served hot.
I'm sorry, no,
I would
50,000,
recommend
500,000 rec.
For Starbird,
How do you think we'll
is
board
this going to
ships?
be an
If you
item
break
we're
all the
really
components
gonna
and thrusters,
need?
will the ship continue to
That'd
spiral
be
through
a
space?
question for the actor
Will you need to
status
track to win?
team.
Yeah, if a ship's
As
like
more of that
spiraling out of
system comes
control,
online and they
well,
actually
maybe they're sort of like
introduce
stabilizer
more to
bits,
the
but
actor
I
status
would expect a
system
tractor
with
beam is the sort of thing that you would need
eat,
to
drink,
slow a ship down if
stamina
it's
and stuff
spiraling
like
madly
that,
out of
who knows?
control.
We'll treat this guy more as a market.
That's one ugly ship, indeed. Oh man, it's the Kurthak ships.
I'm imagining this is like.
Will you be asking the
Yeah,
questions
they'll make
from
toys of
the
this kind of thing.
Discord dev question section?
Again, we'll fill the noodles
How
in
many
more,
could
we're
you
just kinda
ask?
getting that
I will compile them
Oh, we
into
got
a
about
list,
5 minutes. I know you
then
wanted to try
summarize
something
them so they're much more simple,
Yeah, all we can do is spooky
get rid of
Halloween
any shit
version.
ones,
That would be fun.
and then ask
You
people that
wanted
I find appropriate
Oh,
over the
no,
2
we shut
days that I'm
that
around
for a minute.
at CitizenCon.
Maybe next year we'll do a spooky Halloween version if I remember that we did this.
Is there any clue on when we get those
Yeah,
blades that
alright,
slave our turrets? There is no clue to that now.
Oh,
Working on
Murder Bear,
AI
we could make
for
we could
3.8,
make
which
I'd
is
put a
a
Murder
definitely
Bear
a
in the background.
prerequisite
Very
of that.
carefully set up a little scene.
What do you think about
Yeah.
ship combat?
And
Do you
then I
enjoy
forgot
it?
to say- well, did it crash
It
when
can be
we,
good and fun.
we
That's more to do with
loaded
who you're
the
fighting,
normal
where you're fighting, and what
version of
happens.
this guy.
I don't think the model is there yet. I mean, combat balance
I'm
and
just repositioning
the fact that
noodles
I've
on the
become
top.
dumber in combat because I've been using
They are a
auto
different colour
gimbals
at the moment as well, but
isn't great.
doesn't matter
ESP's terrible.
for now.
I'm using auto gimbals to get rid of some of the
Just trying to
problems
get
that I have
more
with
of a
combat.
read of the
That's
noodles
not
on
great.
top.
So they need to get that
was-
shit sorted.
I think it's the
Flight
lighting
model,
in the scene that doesn't
core-
help him.
core components,
If we pop him over
core
here, it's got a
features,
nice warm
and
light on my-
combat
Oh,
balance, all super important.
Backlighting is never flattering, is it? We'll flip him around. There
Is there any clue on where? Oh, we
He's got little
talked about,
rosy
oh my
cheeks,
god,
he
Jeff,
casts a
you
little-
got mad with the same questions. Okay, I love you.
I think the fact the eyes face different directions.
Choose your destructor.
I would love to see
Do you
this
think
thing
Alpha UEC
floating
will
around,
directly transfer
like telling
over to
people
UEC
noodles
when the switch happens? No.
eat the
I do not.
noodles.
Your destructor.
I think Alpha
Maybe there's
UEC will
like
be
a
reset
filter out
when
the
they
back and
will
it's
be
Big
removed
Benny's
when
noodle
UEC
boxes
comes
just come
along
out
in the
back.
future, and that
Yeah,
when we
Benny-
have
Benny
UEC,
Benny's
we shouldn't have any more
subtly
resets ever.
terrifying.
Yeah, maybe. And you can just imagine it like you walk into
So
a room
the
and
persistence
you see
of
it
Alpha
slowly
UEC and Alpha
come
UEC
out.
purchases will still mean we'll have resets occasionally, but it'll mean we'll
So
have
why don't we-
significantly
why don't we
less.
For the remaining time, we'll just get
Or maybe we'll have none until they
like,
switch
you
over to
know, so we
UEC.
get a nice shot of it.
When is the Taurus coming out? We don't know. It got removed from the roadmap. It was just the cargo version of the Connie. So maybe
There
they're
is
giving it a little bit
yeah,
more of a
definitely some spookiness going on.
rework. Maybe
So we
it's
want, like, under, like,
they've got it planned for a
casting a
patch
shadow.
secretly. But it's not on the roadmap at the moment. It was
I
on
mean,
them
the
when they
resolution of
removed
the
it.
shadows isn't great. I'm sorry about that, but that's just the fact that we've just popped it in.
They're making
Yeah,
a
and then we'll make
spooky
it
noodles
like
bowl.
red, I guess.
Spoopy.
There you go. You can just imagine him coming at you.
Wow.
Export me.
They made a spoopy noodles
A
bowl.
JPEG of this guy.
Spoopy.
Yeah, no problem. Do you want it right now?
Glad to finally catch you live. I won't
I'll
bore you
put
with
it on
questions.
social
Just
media.
glad you're still keeping up the progress of this beautiful game. Yeah, I love Star Citizen. I love the community. I love the amount of information they put out. I love working on
got a
YouTube
knife.
stuff.
You're giving him
Making
weapons.
videos.
Oh no!
I am starting
one's
to move
safe
over.
now.
At least the plan is to start moving
Oh,
over
that's not the
to
right kind of knife.
more
You should
gameplay.
like a cutlery kind
At
of
least
Yeah.
some
Oh,
extra
that's
gameplay and
No,
Yeah,
he's
good stuff.
got a fright.
Yes, give him a fright. No, fright.
Yeah, you want a knife with like. I think these are the knives for.
but yeah,
He's
I'm
got a
planning to do more
giant
gameplay because we've got
spoon.
more and more to actually play.
That's gotta take time.
He's got a spatula. Alright, there you go. He's got a spatula. What should we have on the spatula?
But yeah, sorry.
We don't have any human organs,
Looking at the
but I would
options
put
they
a
have
human
to
organ
give
on
this
there
Big
if
Benny's
it's
noodle.
really knocking about.
The views and opinions expressed by Corey Bamford do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games,
Yeah.
Roberts Space Industries, or its subsidiaries.
My arm's trying to phase out of existence. It does that sometimes. It's just my luck.
There you go.
But yes,
Some
I'm
brightness.
a big fan of
There you
Star
go.
Citizen as a
How- what
game,
do you
Star
reckon,
Citizen
mate?
as a project, Star
I
Citizen the
think
way
we
they do
did
bug
something
fixing.
very magical today.
Not the length of time that it takes for development. I'm not a big fan of that. But I love the fact they have CitizenCon and
Alright.
they have all these new
Yeah.
shows, and it allows me to get sort of like
Alright.
to grips with my craft
There
and
you go,
slowly
there's
build
black
a
and white
YouTube
on
channel
as well.
while they're getting their game ready, because that's great, because I go, big things are coming when we have like Squadron 42 released and Star Citizen in a more playable
Yeah,
state, because I
alright.
can go, well,
Oh, the backlight
I'll
underneath
expand
might
my
be-
empire as a
Yeah, you
YouTuber.
can't-
Until then,
I'll
I can
have
just
a
get
look
better
around,
at doing
but
stuff,
Forward
because
that.
I'm pretty
I will
lazy
send that to you
and
as soon as
like
we're done.
understanding things. I'm
Alright,
going to be
guys.
working with more content
Well,
creators in the
that's
future,
it.
but also I'm
Thank
getting
you for
someone to work with
joining
me full time.
Star Citizen Live Game Dev, the Big Benny's proposition.
Yeah.
We're in the process of creating a couple things for use in the persistent universe. This was a experiment exploration into one of those. Corey, thank you so much for taking the time here late on a
It's
Friday.
My pleasure. Yeah.
To things, it's like I came out just for this, so I'm gonna go home
Yeah.
now.
All right. Well, have
Go
a safe
catch a flight.
flight back, and yeah, we'll see you
Right.
next year.
Yeah, that's it. If you haven't, check out Inside Star Citizen. That's how tired I am. Which returned back from hiatus last week, and we'll be right back here for another Star Citizen Live next week. I wonder if I can tell you what it is yet.
Yeah, go on. Give us something.
Nope.
Say- Wow.
So see you then, guys. Take care.
Thank you,
You would-
everyone. Bye.
You are the worst, Jared. Right. Ah, my ears! Right. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to know anything anyway. Maybe. Oh. So, yes. So yeah, more gameplay content, more showing what we can actually do in game, more talking about evolutions of stuff, I think. And in addition to the general news content and the analysis of roadmaps and that sort of stuff. So that's what I've got planned. What if they secretly release both the Carrack and the Taurus in the same patch? I mean, the Carrack looks like it's coming out in 3.8, and potentially the Pisces could as well. The Taurus could come out with 3.8 as well. We just don't know where it is because it's not on the roadmap at the moment. It was on the roadmap, and now it's not. I would like to know exactly what they've spent 230 million on. They haven't spent 230 million yet, I don't think. They've raised a good amount, though. Maybe they have spent 230 million. Maybe they've spent more than that. Obviously, they've been building 2 games with that money and employing people. I mean, I think we should... Let's see what happens at CitizenCon and see if they've got a Squadron 42 hard sort of like release date and see what happens. Are we going to get Squadron 42 next year? Bam. Squadron 42 Episode 1, I think, is going to be a good test of CIG, do you actually have the vision? Is that money well spent? Is this generally going to be a great game? If it is, fucking great. If it's the Half-Life 2 for me, for the modern era, fucking perfect. Or Free Space 2, I suppose, is a better comparison. Perfect for me. Play that. Great. Happy. And then I'll be like, Squadron, Star Citizen, Persistent Universe, great hands. Really looking forward to it. Doom 2016 took 9 years and almost $100 million. Okay, well, that makes sense. Also, they had studios pre-built and everything like that as well. Doom 2016 is actually a pretty fucking good game as well. GG board, thank you very much. Are you happy with how they're handling landing pads? instead of large open landing spaces where forced landing boxes. I'd like a mixture of two. Okay, I like the mixture of the two. But I'd like shittier, more dangerous landing zones. Maybe have crappy little boxes that you land in. Yes, accessibility to new players is what we need in lots of situations. You want a high skill ceiling or huge skill ceiling, but a little bit of a skill floor. Not a huge skill floor, but a little bit of a skill floor. So people can do all the basic tasks without much effort, without much worry anyway. Anyone found a mineable circuit card in the... I've not actually picked up a circuit board in the scrapyard yet. I've been told they're there. How many devs are they employing nowadays? Between 550 and 600. Citizen's got a warning, learning required. They need tutorials in-game eventually, and each of the gameplay sort of like modules, each of the sort of missions and roles in-game need to have a sort of like entry-level mission to explain the mechanics of how these things work and how they can progress. Could you see the subscribership of the month and the monthly flair continue over to the full game? Yes, I could. Lots of ways of monetizing like that makes sense for CIG to do. Any clue or gut feeling about how far along episode 2 and etc. might be? I don't know about Squadron 42 episode 2. The plan was apparently, though, that after Squadron 42 episode 1's out, within 2 years, is when they want episode 2 to come out. But yeah. Do we have any other questions? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run off in a second to get some nom-noms. I've got some more picanha steak downstairs, but I also have some salad. And I think I've got a katsu curry as well. So I'll do something like that for dinner. Then I'll check out any StarSets news. Then I want to get the venues and stuff sorted for CitizenCon the day before, because there's a load of people debating them, Joe Run and people working out exactly what's going on for that. So I want to make sure that we've got something nailed down, and then we'll start broadcasting that as unofficial CitizenCon meetup / rallying point during the day for the 22nd, the day before CitizenCon, for people that don't know what they're doing, get lost, or just want to hang out with other people in Manchester, don't know what else to do. There's a venue here that does food, drink, bam, next to where the main official Bar Citizen's going to be in the evening. So this is where we're going to be, and then some other pubs around the area that are really fucking close. Which also do different drinks and different food. If you want to move around them too, cool, we recommend them. Everyone knows those addresses and their phone numbers, and everything can find each other if they move around. Easy, nice, boom, simple. I've seen Noob Fire's video, but I watched it when I was sort of like in bed, half asleep. So I need to watch it again and actually criticize it in a honest and fair way, because I'm going to have different points of view and opinions than him. So I will check that out. Any chance we can hang with you in an event in the verse board? Yes. I'll start doing. When you did the turtle thing, and I've done some other little things and hung out with lots of other content creators on there, or orgs doing their events and stuff. I will start trying to do something weekly at least that we can all sort of like people can jump in with. Try and rotate that. I saw a video of yours years ago, said the 890 jump isn't a combat ship. Do you still think that? Yes, for its size, it's not a combat ship. And it has combat capabilities, and it's reasonably well defended and can get away from stuff, but it's not a combat ship. A Polaris turning up is a combat ship. You see what I mean? I might have katsu curry for my num-nums. For my din-dins. You can hang out with me if anyone's got events that they're doing, that I've got a reasonable amount of people at, even if they haven't, feel free to invite me to in-game Star Citizen events or whatever. You can poke me on Discord. I will turn up to ones I can turn up to. I don't have a huge amount of free time. Some days I'm just like, fuck it, I'm free. Yeah, I'd love to come. I try to come where I can. But yes, 3.7.1 hotfix patch. It's going to have a reset. Could be coming later today. Probably see a 3.7.2 patch as well if it does come. If 3.7.1 comes today, we'll see a 3.7.2 next week with even more fixes. Would be my expectation. So bear that in mind. Yeah, fucking love you guys. I'm gonna go and check out to see who else is streaming. I hope people followed with me what I was going to do with Nord. I don't think a lot of people actually care. I think some people care a lot though. So I'm just going to be, if people are informed, I think that's probably the best thing. Make an informative decision. There is 95 tickets left for the official Bar Citizen on the 22nd of November, the pre-CitizenCon one, so the day before. But as I said, we're organising something during the day before that, so that's 6 PM. We're going to have some stuff during the day before that, and yeah. Right. Fucking love you guys. Thank you very much for the ridiculous amount of money, and the Prime subs, the normal subs, the more money. Robert Johnson, you are just mad. I love you. You're so beautiful. The bits as well. We've got lots of people chucking stuff at me. Yes, Tracing with the sub, and Brimstone with the money, and Shite with the money, and Matador's Malice, and Timothy J, and Robert Johnston. Lots of Robert Johnston because he's mad, and Malice again, and Froststone, and Minion, and Truman, and Dallin Mars. Thank you so much for the continued support and the ridiculous support of just a bald, I would say balding, but a bald man that dresses up as a British officer in the 18th century with a beautiful beard and a sexy potato head. What was I talking about? I think talk about Star Citizen or something like that. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. Right. Let us find someone else that is streaming. Thanks, guys. I do. We're going to give Super Mac Brothers some love for this $25 gift card giveaway. Oh, that's fucking something I'll be trying. No, I don't want to. Right. We're going to be going over here. I love you guys so much. You are fucking legendary. You're the best. Love your faces. I'm going to go and give SMB some love. /raid. Bam. And, yeah. Got any feedback for me? Or ideas for whatever? You can get me at contact@boardgamer.co.uk. I will give you some feedback. Replies, potentially. If you've got questions for devs for CitizenCon, there's a thread in my Discord as well that you can drop questions in there. I'll compile a list, get rid of the shit ones, do something for that. Looking forward to CitizenCon. Hope we're going to record and stream from there. We'll see what happens. But yes, I love you guys. You take care. Bam. Out my fucking finger. Make sure we've got no other super important questions. Will they need server-side container streaming for 3.8? They need some optimizations to get microtech in. I would expect. I would hope that it would be server-side object container streaming. There could just be some of the optimizations towards it, and some of it potentially they might decouple some of it. But right, love you guys. You take care. Talk to you soon. Peace. Bam.